here early, so I feel like Amie be here at 8.
9 o'clock. 8:58, 8:55.
No, y'all were comfortable when I came in here. Y'all hadn't just sat down.
When you're early, you are on time. And if everybody gets here early, guess what? We can start.
Man, let's start the show.
What that was, Drumline? Didn't they sit on Drumline?
Oh, my dad says that.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's older than Drumline for sure, but
Yeah.
I thought that might have been like the time period where people like really
I
got
always
that
leave
shit.
an hour early.
We left way early.
Well, because y'all stay 2 hours away.
And look, we were here on time.
Well, if we would have left
happy,
when we
ladies.
really were
Thank
leaving
you.
out of our door, we would have got here
I'm
at
sorry, but
8:18.
not sorry. I was late. I tried to. I actually feel like I was okay. Usually when I get here early, Kelvin's not ready and the guest isn't here either. So I usually come late.
Guess always be here before you.
I usually let people get situated before I come in.
I don't want to allow you to spend time lying, okay?
There you go. See there?
That's
Straight
what I
shooter.
do.
That's what you do.
I just want
You're not
you
gonna
to,
what's it called? Psychiatrist me.
Psychiatrist
that
me.
was just
Therapize.
plain on
You're not gonna
therapy.
therapize. No, I don't like that word.
We
Psychiatrize me.
aren't psychiatrists.
Therapize.
So I can't.
You're not gonna psychiatrize me.
Therapize is the one.
No, I don't like it.
But we aren't.
psychiatrist, so we don't like that one.
Keep on thinking. You get it for the end of the episode,
You're
man.
not gonna double team me today.
You get it for the end of the
We
episode.
already know whenever it come to Kelvin, he gonna side with the ladies.
What?
It'd be like, he.
PB Powers.
I side with logic and reason, man.
You
Welcome,
don't side with no logic.
welcome to another episode. Words of KB podcast. We got the usual. We really got the usual suspects in the building today. Like, real shit.
Yep.
We got my man Ba7ic Logic to my left,
Yep.
and we got some. These are the usual suspects. Everybody usual suspects, man.
Nah, shit, you not a usual suspect.
Well, I'm sorry, yeah, because I've been around Amanda.
Yeah, we're working on some projects.
Yeah.
I didn't even get an invite to that. I could have
would've
been
been
in the
late.
audience.
You were late.
Thank you.
He was late.
It was late.
I didn't get invited.
Yeah.
But you were supposed to be here at
1:30.
I didn't get invited.
You would have been here,
You just keep repeating the same thing.
Yeah,
I
I don't think any
it's
piece
over.
of logic was gonna.
because we
cut
started
that
at 1:30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your name Ba7ic Logic, man. You
He
really
told me
missing
we were
the
supposed to
logic, bro.
leave by then.
I think he wanted you to be here
What?
because you're always late.
Still, if we leave it at 1:30.
You still weren't here.
Because
You
I
got
had
here
really
before.
no, because
But I
we
heard
were
you
supposed to
right
go
here.
to a concert, and when I said I was on the way, and then he didn't respond, and I was like, okay, I got time to sit down, so I sat down.
For 4 hours?
Yes,
You didn't say, hey, maybe.
I
was
thought
playing
he
the
went. I thought he went to sleep. I started playing a game. I ate and I played the game.
So no communication.
No, he didn't respond back. So I was like, he's probably
didn't.
asleep. Because, see, y'all know this Kelvin, but Kelvin used to fall asleep when it would be time to go to sleep. And I ended up coming over here
I
4
would
hours
fall
late.
asleep when it's time to fall asleep.
I got dressed, and then what did you say?
I said, fuck it.
Thank you.
Because I already had missed the 2 sets I wanted to see.
Kelvin,
It was over.
You wasn't trying to come. You never hit me up.
But y'all had tickets. Like,
He had tickets.
I gave him my tickets for Sunday.
He wasn't trying to go.
Amy, would you like to introduce yourself for the people who don't know, but you should know because you've seen her multiple times this season?
Yes. Oh, yeah. What? Okay.
Ba7ic Logic.
Right. Okay. Hey, it's Amie. The Words with KB podcast resident
You
therapist.
need some time. You need a second. Gather yourself. We ain't took the shot yet. Can you pour the shot?
Hello,
son?
everybody. I miss you guys.
Hey, what's up? What's up? Yeah, I think last time we seen you was the podcast
The
appreciation
podcast
night.
appreciation.
Yeah. That was
Those
cool.
candy bags was dope. I keep saying that,
Bruh.
but
It was nice.
made a way.
I didn't even know she was bringing that. She just like showed up with all that. I was like, bro, what
Whoever
is all
that is,
this?
shout out to you. That's very generous.
Yeah. She want to do some more projects. You said water for you, right?
yeah.
You want brown or
Just a wee bit of rum.
okay? They both rum.
Which white?
Oh, the
or-
white rum.
Yeah. This. Oh, please. Amanda, would you like to introduce yourself?
A wee bit.
All right.
It's a shot. Can't be no wee bit of no shot.
She said a wee bit. That's
In
a
the birthday coming up?
Yeah, but it's not here yet, and I still
It's
got
the
to pay bills.
It's the birthday month.
Yeah, hence why we have the rum shot.
One shot gonna stop you. You not gonna be able to be productive
But
for
we're
the rest
gonna
of the
Okay,
week.
well, my name is.
Tension going on right now.
My name is Amanda Nicholson. I am a marriage and family therapist. I specialize in sex therapy, and I am the owner of the Prude's Guide to Intimacy.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Shout out y'all socials so people know, just in case they don't make it to the end of the episode.
So, Refined Vision
Mm.
on Instagram, put an underscore at the end of that. So it's Refined Vision _ Also, visit my website, refinedvisiontherapy.com.
Boom.
Subscribe.
Boom. Boom.
Join me.
Vision spelled regularly, right?
Vision. Everything spelled exactly how you would look it up in the dictionary.
And the Prude's Guide.
Yes, so I am at the Prude's Guide on Instagram. I guess on Twitter whenever I decide to get back on there.
No,
Yeah,
but
on
people
Twitter
been on
too.
Twitter. Nobody fucking
I'm off
with
and
Twitter.
on. I'm off
Yeah.
and on, but it's entertaining in the best way.
Yeah, but I was like a Twitter. That used to be my platform, and then I got off, and I tried to get back on, and it just hasn't
flow
worked
ain't
out.
the same.
So, Instagram at the Prude's Guide, on Facebook, the Prude's Guide to Intimacy, and on YouTube, the Prude's Guide to Intimacy.
I got to follow on Facebook. I didn't know you had the Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah. Twitter, man, I feel like it's more, I don't know, I feel like it's closer than all the other ones, man. Like,
It
you can have some real
is.
conversations
Yeah.
on Twitter.
Yeah, but
Absolutely.
it's like it's like double dutch, right? You gotta know when to get in and you
when
gotta
to
know.
get out.
Nah, you just stay in.
But you gotta be good at staying. Twitter is it's
Use
an art
constant.
to Twitter.
Okay. Yeah, Twitter is like the odd cousin of social media.
So
For sure.
Yeah.
All right, man, we taking this shot? It's too early. Now his eyes open now. I like that. People still doing this.
Oh, you ain't shit.
Supposed to have water in there. So.
She didn't even try to flex or nothing. I take
Supposed to
back.
have water.
I take back my cheers.
You want a wee bit?
Yeah,
on.
we.
Get a whole bit.
Right. All right, come on now, everyone. One more time.
She had to show the feds she wasn't drinking.
That's fine.
If any of my students are watching this is water.
Right.
It was.
You know, I have seen
That's vodka in there.
people have requested like that. We don't do a shot if they're a guest on the show.
Who?
I told them that's okay.
Who said that?
I don't want to say their name, bro.
Ah, fuck that.
Well,
Call them out.
It's water.
You didn't want to do that episode anyway.
USG Board of Regents.
This
Water.
the friend episode, female and friends. I want to do an episode about
We're not doing that
male
episode.
and he really don't want to do
That
that.
shit gonna be
episode.
boring as fuck.
Male.
oh my gosh.
So this is the idea for the episode. It's male and female friendships. You know what I'm saying? Can they exist?
Okay.
Like, for real. He says a boring episode.
That's
That's
no,
a debatable
that's
Just
one.
because he not allowed to have female friends. That's
Actually,
it.
I have female friends. Do I
You
not?
got cricket buttons?
Barely.
What you mean?
Barely.
I deserve
I
the
mean
cricket
barely. I have
Barely.
more. We have pretty much the same female friends. If I probably have a couple more than you. You don't even have any female friends. All yours are
Bro, I
sorority
got
sisters.
real female friends, bro.
Who?
Who you talking about? Takia?
That's your sorority sister.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You talking about Takia?
That's the one you have.
Man, like I said, we do the episode. I was gonna bring them on. I
That's
got
not
some
your
calls.
friend. You don't even
mean?
talk to them in like.
So you
4
don't even know what a
years.
female friend is.
You haven't talked to them in like 4
I
years.
talk to my female friends every day.
You don't talk to nobody every day.
I talk to Amie every day.
Boom.
Yeah.
I talk to Joe almost every
Basically.
day.
I said females.
Like I said, I talk to a female friend every day.
It's not a sorority sister.
Yeah.
No, I don't believe you, sir. Where are your receipts?
If we do the episode, I'll show you.
No, you just see a lot of times when Kelvin be having episodes, it be stuff that he want to talk about. He be like, "Shit, let's just record it because
So
I
what
want to
you
have this
wanna talk
conversation."
about?
Yeah, what you want to talk
Nothing.
about?
Sports.
Contribute.
What's wrong with sports?
It's
Okay, but what
boring.
about sports?
Gaming is
like,
boring.
I don't talk about gaming.
What about sports?
Nothing.
What perspective? Just
Say the same thing everybody
And it-
else saying. It's all
No,
the sports stuff. It's all boring.
he a hater. Tech
watch
is
sports.
boring.
Huh?
Tech is boring.
oh Lord, guys.
But anyways,
Is this why we were brought here?
All this is tech, bruh.
All right, cool.
All this is tech. Anyway, Um,
I hope y'all brought your own water bottles too. Y'all didn't take one from him, did y'all?
No, because
why are you spreading this fake news, bro?
You
I
know,
know
by
what
That's
you
not a
said.
thing. Don't believe him. You saw me get it out of the bag.
Mandy, remember? Were you? I think you were here the first time that happened.
No, I don't want to know. No.
He brought me a used water bottle that he filled up.
It's all the same water.
I like that response.
Okay.
You might have to take Prude off your name. That ain't no Prude stuff.
Oh man,
Drinking sink water.
yeah. I need to pull up my. Had some questions. Like I said, a continuation of so part 2-ish. We started. We had the sex talk. It was a cool episode, but I felt like it was like an introductory type thing. You know, we was talking about how you got into therapy and all that. And I kind of want to follow up with you on that too, because I don't feel like we haven't had like an episode on how Amie got into therapy and all that. We kind of just jumped in there as soon as we got going, right? So yeah, can you tell us why, how you got into
How and why?
Yeah.
I think it was, but
I don't remember. People don't grow up wanting to be a therapist. I don't think.
no, I think
She told you she would.
I
She not gonna say that,
didn't.
bro.
No, I didn't know what I wanted to do,
Okay.
especially going into college. I think I was just doing it, but I think because of life experiences, it just kind of brought me into the natural characteristics of a therapist that
Like
come
what
along,
are
like
those?
foundational things like empathy and listening skills and just wanting to help people. That all folded into it. So
Okay, so those were natural talents or gifts that you thought you always had. Like you always was a good listener. You always was.
yeah, I don't know if it was good, but I did it in an
Okay.
attempt to be good at
Okay.
it
All right.
until I was good at it. You
Yeah,
know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, 'cause
So
I don't
it was
think
something
people
that I
really
would be
think about listening
fostering.
like that.
Yeah, because I wanted to fix your problem, so I'm gonna listen out.
Okay.
I'm gonna figure it out. But I think if I would be more specific, it was about my experiences and kind of wanting to change them for other people. So going through bullying, going through self-esteem challenges, seeing my family as far as with marriages, and so all of those things coupled in together kind of brought me into the interest of being a marriage and family therapist, and then kind of honing in on that self-development journey.
Right.
So
That's dope. Yeah, cause I like I said, I never heard like a kid say I want to be a therapist, but I would think in our community there would be a lot of people wanting to go into that field because of all the bullshit we grow up around, and like somebody would say I want to fix it. You know what I'm saying? And I think like that those are the people who would fix it.
Yeah.
I think.
I
you
think
know?
part of the change makers,
Yeah,
change agents is us.
Change
We all
agent.
have a role. So you figure out, to me, if I'm thinking about it, but you figure out what's your key strengths and
Right.
you filter it down to what fits you, the type of lifestyle you want to live,
Right.
type of money you want to make, type of change you want to make see happen, and how you want to make the change happen.
Okay.
I don't know.
Debatable.
Debatable.
Did you see like a similar? Did you have a similar traits growing up as far as that brought you to therapy?
Yeah, everybody always brought me their relationship problems. So
How did you feel about that?
I'm
a therapist now.
So when I was in, we're all somebody's therapist.
Oh, yeah.
But are we all somebody's good therapist? That's another conversation, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So, people always brought me their relationship problems and different things. So I didn't grow up wanting to be like, oh, I want to be a therapist. But when I was in high school, I decided that I wanted to be a child psychologist. And I wanted to work with sexually abused children.
Gotcha.
And somebody was like, girl. And I was like, no, I want to do that. But then later on, I decided I wanted to do something else. But I've wanted to be a therapist since I was in high school.
Wow.
So I decided that I wanted to be a marriage and family therapist later on because, my parents have been married for 32 years. And I was like, if they could make that last, other Black people could make their marriages last too, because our divorce rate is so high, but our marriage rate is really, really low. So that's one of the reasons that I wanted to be a marriage and family therapist. And I ended up wanting to be a sex therapist because I was taking this sex roles and genders course, and we were talking about the trans population and how difficult it was for them to get approval for like reassignment surgeries and different things. And I was like, that would be something, dope to help people, do so they could live out their best lives. But since I've started studying to be a sex therapist and I've started working in the field, my interests have grown around like religion and spirituality and sexuality. So now that's more of my focus, but it's always been about helping people, live their best in their true lives.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, so speaking on that, I have some sex questions, I think.
Okay.
I had a list. I can't find my list, but I remember most of the list.
I did have something to ask because it kind of because what Kelvin was saying before is people didn't really grow up being therapists, but it seemed like you're one of those people that you knew at an early age, like, I like listening to people's problems and I want to help them. Now, do you think that came from because your father is is a minister, correct?
Right.
And I feel like those are, especially for people of color, those are probably the first therapists, quote unquote, that we have interaction with. Those are the people that you tell a lot of your problems to. So do you, I'm sure you grew up seeing a lot of people coming to your dad for advice on different situations, and you saw that and you saw he was able to help them. So you feel like, is that something that you saw at an early age as well? Like, okay, I like that too.
It probably had an effect in a sense, because both of my parents are pretty easy to talk to anyway. So it probably did, in a sense, have an indirect influence. But the reason, I read a book about a Black woman who was a psychologist. It was based off a true story. She was like a psychologist, and she was working with this child who was abused, like sexually abused. And I was like, I think I was like in the 9th or 10th grade when I read that book, and I was like, this is what I want to do. Like, I want to help.
You read that in 9th grade?
Yeah, I've always been an avid reader.
That wasn't like a part of.
I don't think that was that in your library at school?
I've always like just read books.
Didn't they have this accelerated reader program?
Yeah.
Was that a part of that?
No, I took it off my mom's bookshelf.
I'm about to say that definitely wasn't a kid's book.
That would have been like 20 points.
She wasn't supposed to be reading that.
Yeah, yeah. My dad works. He's a correction officer, so I was reading like Terry Woods and stuff like that, like in the 8th grade.
Don't know.
Like True to the Game and.
Oh, is that
like crime books?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who wrote? Never mind.
True to the Game is really good.
That's the pimp book?
No, he's not a pimp. He's a drug dealer.
Same thing.
All of Terry Woods books about drug dealers.
Same thing.
And love.
You
Drugs
don't make
and
movies
love.
anymore? No movies?
It's a woman.
Oh, just a woman. She doesn't make movies? Or?
True to the Game, the movie is actually on Netflix.
Okay.
But the book is better.
Oh, yeah, that's why I seen it.
Always.
It's always better. So did y'all feel like I know y'all said people brought your problems. Did you ever feel like, were y'all like really nosy? Or I feel like if somebody was nosy, they would like change it into like, oh yeah, I like hearing about problems.
No,
I wasn't receiving it to just because I necessarily wanted the information. I
just came.
But I think that being easygoing, people gravitate to your energy. I won't say that maybe a percentage of it was like, oh, give me some OP about it. I mean, I don't know, until I kind of understood what it is that I'm asking about and the information that you're giving me, and start valuing it differently. So I won't say maybe it was part of that. But I think just being genuine about wanting people to feel good.
I got
better,
you.
Yeah. I think people just brought me their problems.
Just bring it.
And I'll just be like, well, okay, I guess I hope you solve them.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. And, I don't think I've ever just like, ooh, give me more.
Right.
So it's just but it's kind of like when you have to help people with their problems, because in therapy, it's like I need all the information that I can get to the bottom of the
What's
issue.
happening.
Yeah, I was talking to my buddy today, man. We was like, and I guess that was like, that's the closest I think he'll get to like a therapy session. You know what I'm saying? Like us going back and forth. We was on the phone like an hour, 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? Just like going back and forth on issues. You know what I'm saying? And like, I think that's important. But like you said, I don't know what my rating would be on Google as a therapist. You know, I mean, I feel like I do a good job, and I was like, I should be charging for this shit. But you know, that's what I had.
Think it's
you know,
good to always to have a friend who is that has some type of wisdom. I feel like some people have some wisdom, and it's good to have a friend that you can go to and say, okay, can you be a sounding board, or what you think about this? You know. But
y'all do that. So do y'all as therapists do that for each other?
Yes.
Really?
Oh, absolutely.
That would be
we
like,
are a resource to each other, just like another tech person to be a resource to you, or whoever your peer is at your.
What y'all do?
Does you work in human resources or customer service? I'm sorry.
Customer service, sales. I do it all.
Okay, I was close, but I'm not sure who your peer would be. But I feel like I kept it respectful until they laughed.
You laughed too. In
Only
your
laugh
eyes.
because Kelvin.
The energy made me laugh.
All right.
Kelvin is a custodian.
That's on Facebook.
Yeah.
I lived that life for a long time when I first moved to Atlanta.
I mean, it's a job.
Yeah. I just didn't want. I used to.
But then people came to his house and they was like, "No way, you cleaning up other people's stuff."
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I mean, you be tired.
Yeah.
Hell no.
But
I almost went to a school one time and like had lunch with a girl because I like lived across from a school and I was gonna put a janitor outfit on.
You was gonna straight go to jail too.
Had lunch at. No, at that time it wasn't like they probably would just be like, "What you doing here?" And I'd be like, "This the wrong school or something." I would have left. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
But I almost did that, man. I really went deep in with those stories I used to put out there with women. It was really bad. It was really bad. Yeah.
But yeah. We therapize each other, but we're also a support for each other because I can consult about a case.
Okay.
And get that advice and feedback.
Okay. So y'all.
But then at a friend level as well, because she's a best friend. So.
Right, but does that?
Oh.
Does that like bring? Is that like come at a different level? I mean, because if I talk to. If we were like on that, if I had a male friend who was a therapist and I talked to Ian about some shit and I talked to him about it, the level of the shit's gonna be totally different. So that's what I'm saying. Like, Does it work like that?
Yeah, because it's kind of like, okay, Amy, do you want
what version you want?
Yeah, do you want best friend answer or do you want therapy
And I know when
answer?
to ask for what I. Yeah.
No, when.
When
like,
to ask for what kind of advice.
How do you? Yeah, I'm asking when. How do you decide? Yeah.
So.
How do you
all right.
decide?
So when I was trying to make a decision about something about moving, and I was walking around outside doing about 45 minutes walk for 45 minutes, and I was like, okay, Amanda, give me the no bullshit answer response to this, please.
Okay.
And she said I was like, unfiltered, go, and I'll tell you when I don't want anymore.
Okay.
And so boom, ask for that. She might call and say, okay, Amy, I'm having this case and I need to hear my ideas about this.
I got you.
And I'm like, okay, we're here.
Okay, so work is basically separated into work versus personal.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's just like when you have a therapist, a lot of people go to therapy to have like somebody to keep them accountable.
Yeah.
Like for their goals. This is my accountability person.
Okay.
So Amy would be like, well, in my planner, you said that you was going to have this done by this day.
Right.
So then it's just like if I had a therapist and I'm scared to reach a goal. The therapist is like, well, your homework is to have this done by this time because this is one of the things that we're trying to achieve in therapy. And she will remind me. She'll get on my nerves.
Okay.
She'll remind me. constantly.
Okay. Tomato.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is what we're trying to achieve. So I think it's good. I think everybody can be a good listener to their friends, but the thing is to know how to listen, how to be a reflective listener, so that your
Explain what
friend
that is,
knows
man.
that you're listening. So,
Oh,
you like
live
to
example.
practice?
We can do that.
Oh boy.
Okay.
You paying attention, basic?
I know what that means. You just.
I'm
it's-
gonna make this
yeah.
statement.
What is it?
And I'm a reflect.
And
know
you're
how to do
gonna
it.
reflect back. Okay, what is my statement?
You know how to do it?
Yeah, Ian, let's
Yeah.
try.
Come on.
Oh yeah.
No, show it to me.
Go ahead. This your
Come on, let's
Take it
go.
away.
And then they're gonna show us the real thing.
Okay.
Come on, what you got?
I'm not starting it up.
What? You just said you knew how to do it.
I don't know how to do it in a scenario. Like, what do you want?
So
What do you want me to be?
Something to you.
Okay.
And then I want you to reflect back.
Okay.
What I'm saying. Let's see.
Putting them improv
Yeah. I'm
skills
trying to
the work.
put it together. Oh, I'm having a brain.
You know she can say it too, right?
Okay.
She can say it too.
Yes, this one's good. Okay.
Uh-oh. Wow, you had a clean throat. Okay.
When you're late, I feel that you don't value my time.
Oh boy.
And it's important to me that you consider this when we make scheduled plans.
Oh man.
Okay. So, Amy, what you're basically telling me is that when I come late, you feel like I'm not valuing your time, and I need to do a better job with doing that to make sure that I'm valuing your time.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
Take care.
Good job.
So, okay.
That said customer service.
So,
That's how you know, yeah.
so as you reiterating what someone said to you, just so they know you understood what they said.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just being a good and active listener. And sometimes we're so focused on thinking about what we're going to say back to somebody that we aren't listening to what they say. And another good thing, you know, to be a good listener as a friend and as a partner is to not make things about you.
Right.
So just to make sure that, you know, if somebody say, oh my God, I had the worst day today, that you don't go, oh, I had a bad day too, instead of validating like, oh, okay, you had a bad day. Do you want to talk about it?
Right.
Let's talk about your bad day.
Oh, okay. Man.
And also making sure that, like, a lot of times I see people do two different things. They'll either try to take control of the conversation themselves by telling, like the example you said about, they'll say, oh, I had a bad day too. Or they'll kind of tune the person out, and then you'll ask them something and they won't be able to tell you nothing. They're like,
Right.
oh, they talking about their day again. Let me think about them dishes
Let
I
me
got
scroll
to
through
sink.
Instagram.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So,
Oh man. So
let's
okay.
talk about sex, baby.
Oh.
Let's talk about
Okay.
me. Let's talk about that's all.
I get before we get into the sex talk, because I feel like that's going to control most of the situation. We were talking about that before because you guys said I said psychiatrize and you guys said therapize. Now, what's the difference? I think we talked about that a little bit when Andy was here last. What's the difference between a therapist and a counselor? Because to me, they're the same thing. It's both advice.
I think it's sticky because sometimes people can get offended with how we make the differences between, but the theories and the different things that we learn are different. So we're family therapists, so we work from a systems perspective. And we work from, like, I'm looking at the entire system. So your family, your friends, and how all that interplays with you. Your social,
your physical health.
right. And how all that impacts your mood and your attitude. And,
The way I define or
Pick
kind
that
of
up.
see counselor is the advice and tool giving. With therapists, it's more of processing through. So understanding the whys and the wires. And then with the counselor, it's, for me, don't shoot me down, but just kind of steps, skills, tools less of the processing of the whys and the wires.
So we don't do a lot of telling you what to do. We do more of letting you figure out what it is best for you to do. But we are more of a guide,
like a motivator to be like, all right, I guess you said.
Yeah,
like, this is okay. That may have not worked for you. You may want to try this, or y'all don't even get into that.
So we don't. It depends.
Okay.
Okay. It depends
on what you want as for what you want.
Okay.
It's what it depends on.
Because I feel like coaches are like life coach, like with that. What's that bald-headed lady name? You not that big of a fan of?
Me? She has a shortcut.
She has a shortcut.
She's got a bald fade.
Yana Van Zant is who you're talking about?
Yes.
Wait, I didn't say I did not like her.
No, I corrected myself. I said you're not the biggest fan.
Yeah. I mean, I do watch her stuff, but I'm not like, I see her for who she is, which is a coach.
Yeah.
But to me, from the examples that y'all just gave, I feel like a coach or a life coach does a little bit of therapy, a little bit of counseling, and does both of them together.
So the thing about a life coach or life coaches or coaches,
or even like a sex coach, or I'm sure they got those now.
A lot of those things aren't sanctioned by like a board. Oh. So like we are therapists, counselors, social workers. We are held accountable for what we do, and we have hours that we have to get. We have face-to-face. We're expected to see people face-to-face before we're fully licensed and all those different things. Like, we are expected to have a perfected craft. Life coaches aren't. Like, you could be a life coach, like, right now. Get on
on my website.
Put that in your bio, and you're a life coach, and nobody will, like, hold you accountable for anything. Versus us, like, if something happens, we could get sued.
Damn.
Oh, so basically what you guys are saying is like life coaches are like Instagram models, and kind of everyone can do it.
You're not reflecting back.
Yeah. I get what you mean.
I get what you mean. That's where I get from.
They just, like, you know how on Instagram just say you're a model.
Like, hey, I'm an Instagram model, but they may not really do video shoots, but they take pictures of themselves.
Because certain coaches, you can go through a certification process to do what it is that you're doing. But there's so many different things you can be a coach over. To me, a coach is, hey, I've done this process, and now I want to teach you how to do this process. Versus a therapist, and we're in the mental health field, we're dealing with something totally different. And sometimes we might be able to deal with the same things too, but it's a different process. It's a different hands-on. With me, with what we're doing, there's a level of confidentiality. I'm on your medical records. Like, there's a difference.
I can get subpoenas to court.
Degrees of this shit.
But like I said, then, there's verified people on Twitter and Instagram as well. So they're just some verified IG models.
But that's based on popularity.
Same thing with the coaches. That lady is very popular. Does she have a degree?
Not in counseling.
I think it's in divinity.
Shit, even Dr. Phil ain't had no shit when he started that show.
Be telling people that shit all the time.
Niggas was on there like looking this nigga to say they life. He was just on there for ratings.
Yeah, so like shit. Steve Harvey.
But nothing against life coaches, because therapists aren't for everybody. Life coaches might be more affordable for some people. It's just that
Ayana not affordable.
It might be more comfortable because of the name. But then also, there's one thing that if you can appreciate, I can appreciate a coach that knows as far as she or he can go. Because at a certain point, if a client is stuck, you can't
send them to a therapist.
Right. Yeah, you send them to the appropriate person that it goes to. Just like
to the pro.
You have you come to me as a primary care physician, and there's something specifically wrong with your eyes. Out of my scope of practice, I'm gonna send you to an optometrist.
Right. So it's only so much that certain profession, like even us, we have our own scopes of practice. Like, I don't see children.
No.
I don't see children. There are certain things that are out of my children aren't out of my scope of practice. I just don't like to work with children. No offense to anybody with children out there, but that's just not. That's not.
I'm not racist. I have black
but
friends.
That's just not my strength. My
three.
therapeutic strength is just not with children. And I think, like Amie said, a lot of people don't know like where to stop. Like a lot of people don't know how to deal with trauma, but yet they're life coaches and they're helping people through their trauma, but they don't know what they're doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I got you. So I want to jump back on listening, and then we're gonna transition into the sex thing.
Not in here again,
Yeah.
bro.
So basically, do you feel like you have like an accountability partner, or like someone like if something's going on with you, like who do you call for that?
Ghostbusters.
I mean, like, what do you mean?
Like if it's something like serious going on, or something that you want to talk about, like do you have like how do you handle that shit?
I mean, I kind of have a like forever person that is, which is, you know, wife.
Yeah.
And so,
Can I see your ring?
so I mean, yeah. So that's somebody who kind of always keeps me on my toes, and I definitely feel like I've got like me and you have talked. We talk a lot. Y'all kind of get on me about stuff, and especially when I was in school between like you, Gavin, and Shanley.
Okay.
You know, and same thing in, you know, my job now. I have people that kind of will get on me if I'm like slacking on stuff like, hey, do this, and I'll be like, all right, you know, and I'll take their advice and things like that. People I guess are quote unquote like mentors, or and I may not talk to them every day, but it's like when we have conversations, I'll kind of run stuff by them and things such as that nature. So yeah, I have people like that are around me that push me to be better, I guess.
Okay, I got you. I just wanted to ask you that. So transition into sex talk, because I wanted to get back into that. Back on you, Mandy.
Okay.
So how important is it listening in sex? Because we talk about listening like a lot.
Right.
I feel like a lot of people just ignore it in general because we're more focused on ourselves, our pleasure. That's it.
Y'all know what that is. That's that jackrabbit.
What's that called?
That's that jackrabbit.
Wham bam.
Standard position.
That didn't sound standard.
No.
That's
Yeah,
not
nah.
like that.
But right. On the board. Doing number 56 and 72 tonight. But yeah, so you know, even in regular conversations, we're more focused on ourselves. You know, so listening is important, but like as far as when it comes to sex, I want to talk about how important listening is and how to properly listen to your partner when you're having sex. And I'm definitely gonna get into women listening to men, and I want to get into all that.
Okay. The short answer is that is very important.
All right. Now the hard part is the how.
It's very important to listen to our partners, and it's also important to be confident enough in the connection that you have with your partner to be able to feel like that you can talk to them about what it is that you want in the bedroom. So talking about sex with anybody, I think, is awkward. Like, no matter how long you've been together, or I think it can be awkward, especially when you say you want to try something new, or you want to say, hey, I need a little bit more of, you know,
I feel
that
like
right there.
I feel like it's awkward for it's awkward for people you care about.
Yeah.
If it's somebody you don't give a fuck about, you just, you know, you don't care because it's like you're not as invested in.
Right.
a
But
stranger.
and I think because you don't want to bruise your partner's ego, that
That's
you
it.
don't want to say, I don't like when you do that, or I need you to do a little bit more of this, or I need you to let me direct you in the bedroom so I can really show you what I like and how you can show me that you appreciate my body.
Right.
And I think it's really difficult because we don't want to hurt somebody's feelings to make them feel like they're less than.
Okay. All right. Now, basic. Now, do you think, is there a time where you think women in your past that like they don't listen in the bed, or like is there a situation where you think like what situations do you think women don't listen? I'm gonna go into this too. And not listening, hearing, like, I guess body language, because I think a lot of it, people aren't using their mouths that way. They just their body language is the thing.
I know from like personal experiences and what I've heard, friends and other fellas tell me.
You weren't a virgin before you got married?
Huh? No. Ain't no male virgins getting married.
No, it happens.
Nah, no.
I'm sure it happens.
Yes.
No, you gotta lay that meat before you get that, for you can even put that ring out. She can be like, I don't know yet.
Some
Right?
people that don't mind that.
There are whole couples that get
Girls
married
ain't
virgins.
fucking with virgins like
Okay.
that.
Good luck to y'all.
That's why the double standard that they're cool with.
That's why the divorce rate is high as hell with them folks.
Is it?
Yes.
No.
Shit. No,
That's workable.
and you listen. You are a sex therapist. You should know how. And I always tell people all day, sex is right up there with trust and communication and finances. It's just as important.
Oh, yeah.
People try to put it on the back burner, but you have to have that connection. And I wouldn't want to commit to someone for life and we ain't never had sex. What, that shit trash. That's the sex you gotta have for the rest of your life.
But you
it just
can't
go back to
say
listening,
that. Yeah,
too, though.
it goes back to listening, and also the communication part about how important sex is to both partners.
Right.
Because just because it's up there with finances and all those things with you, it might not be that way in another person's relationship.
Right.
So sex may not be that big of a deal in their relationship. So it depends on
They
the
don't
couple.
have a good relationship.
According to you,
Right.
But to them, like,
I feel like I speak for most of the world.
really,
Well,
I
great that
don't
you are
know.
I got a different perspective on that, bro.
I feel like I do.
So this was gonna be my next question.
Don't jump into your next question yet.
Well, you answer the question I
Yeah,
asked you.
okay.
How do you feel that women miss the communication
I see
during
it
sex?
like because definitely at a younger age with the whole like oral thing, because it was a lot of. I think girls would like try to experiment on you. And he was like, if you don't know what you're doing, and I'd be like, that don't feel good. And they'd be like, oh, I'm killing it. And I'm like, yeah, you killing it, but not in a good way. Like, that was like I know that was like a big issue with me. Like, and dudes ain't really ish. We kind of put up with a lot of stuff that we not supposed to, like, and I'm not saying women don't either. Like, dudes are smashed through smells and they won't say nothing, and they be like, man, that thing smell like sawdust, and I was like, bro, you still hit?
Sawdust okay, but it's some worse stuff than sawdust.
Yeah, sawdust, tuna.
Tuna you gotta back.
Sea turtle.
What does sawdust smell
Yeah,
like?
what does
Sorry,
sawdust-
I don't know. You got
Sawdust is I kind of like sawdust as a smell. It's not like a overbearing. It's not an overbearing smell. It's kind of like a cool smell. I don't think he knows what sawdust smell like.
Oh, okay.
It just sound bad to me when I heard it.
I thought it was like fresh wood.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, sawdust ain't bad.
Yeah, sawdust may not be that bad, but some of the worser smells like tuna, sea bass, sea turtle.
What?
What?
What does sea turtle smell like, bro?
The sea. So anything that smells
It's
Fishy?
salty or it's fishy?
Salt and fishy with like
I
a
don't know.
reptilian feel.
I feel like if it smell, it's like how far have you gone? Because I feel like there's like a point of no return as far as fellas.
People
And you
don't
gotta
care.
keep going.
Dudes don't care. Like, it's like once we get ready, and a lot of times once you put that condom on, it's like it's going.
That's the point. That's kind of the point.
We
of
be
no
like,
return for most
well,
dudes.
I mean, I just won't call her no more.
Yeah.
But I ain't wasting this
the condom.
$1 condom.
Yeah, because you put a condom on, like, in theory, that's right before you go in.
Yeah.
Y'all got comments for this? Y'all
that
agree?
The condom is $1, but
It is, but dudes is cheap. I mean, I'm just telling you, that's how we think in our head. Like,
Hey, condoms be less than $1.
So did you?
yeah,
Okay.
that was less.
Are
they
you
still
saying,
are.
in relation to your
I don't
answer,
know.
are you saying
I ain't
that?
use condoms in a
Yeah, I
minute.
need clarification.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Are you saying that
No, they still make 'em.
women started not listening back in high school when we were asking to? Will you kind of say like manipulating into
I
practicing
think
head?
like
No, not
Okay.
manipulating. Like when you were in high school, that's when you did high school and college, and when you did a lot of experimenting. I feel like sexually, and it you would have times where, especially when it came to oral, and like I said, I'm sure women had it the same way where we thought we was doing something.
We watch
and-
porn.
Yeah,
We
you
watch
watch
porn,
you
and
watch
that's where we
porn,
learn.
or you listen to one of your homeboys or older cousin
Porn
or
is
something
in
like
real
that,
life.
and you thought. Like, I remember me when it came to like eating pussy, like I thought that, and sorry mama, this ain't that podcast for you today. Hey mama. But like I was always thought I legit thought you had to like use your teeth and stuff. Like I didn't know. And like, you know, and it's,
You gotta be careful, boy.
I think I knocked my lens.
You gotta be super careful. You doing that, boy.
yeah, but no, like, so I strayed away from it for the longest because I was just like, I don't know how to do that. I'm not going to bullshit around. And it's like,
Yeah, you do.
same thing happened, I feel like, with some women with head. It's like they didn't really know how to do it, and they would either be too rough, and like that genitalia area is very sensitive, and it can be sensitive in a bad way and in a good way. So it's like a lot of time, I know with my experiences, sometimes you got some head and he was like, this shit trash and she biting me, or this don't feel good, but I'm gonna let her fuck around for 10 minutes and I'll be like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
I
You
think
know.
what you also speaking to is that probably why we was doing stuff we ain't had no business, because we ain't have the mind to ask, hey, does this feel good? Do you like that? And really be confident enough to say, no, actually, I don't like that. And can you stop using your teeth? And can you use a little bit more saliva or whatever it is that you like? We ain't have the know-how, maturity to say, hey, you like that?
But even say it in a way that don't kill the mood.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
That's the thing,
and
yeah.
that's the thing. People don't know
I
how
still
to
don't know how to do
practice.
that.
So you might kill the mood, but she'll give you the right direction, or he'll give you the right direction. Let's keep it going.
But and
I just
we're-
wait till next time.
But
I just wait.
we're so worried about killing the mood that we sacrifice our satisfaction
Nah, I don't.
for people's feelings.
Right.
We gonna make it work.
But it's like if you're in the moment and you're not enjoying it,
I switch it up.
you switch it up, or you say, well wait, move a little bit. I mean, if y'all, especially if y'all been together for a while, and that's your, well, if y'all have been in a committed sexual relationship, or if you just been in a committed relationship period, and y'all have been having sex, you should be able to say what feels good and what doesn't.
Right.
So it's kind of like, well, you using too much teeth, or however you need to say it.
Right.
But I mean, but you have to be like, you have to be honest about what you like and what you don't like, because you'll continue to suffer through it if you don't speak up.
But see, I think that's where the difference came, because I mean, of course, I can only speak for myself, but like in high school and college, I wasn't, well, towards the end of college, but I wasn't really in any like committed relationships. So it was a lot of like, you know,
Random.
different and random partners, you know.
Yeah.
So a lot of times it was like you didn't know that, you didn't know until you got somebody more serious that, you didn't like that.
Right.
Like, because, you know, you've been doing that forever, and you was like, well, the last blah, blah, blah amount of people, they thought it was cool. You not liking that. And I think that happens with a lot of people, because you continue to do stuff. And like I see, you know, with people, like I joked about earlier in the pod about the whole jackrabbit thing. I don't know who the hell like that, but it's a lot of dudes that they smash like that, and girls are not telling them, I don't like that shit.
Right.
Yeah.
So they've been doing that for the longest, and it's probably a lot of girls out there that have been nicking and biting a lot of dudes, and the dude ain't never been like, bitch, stop.
Is that the only thing she can do wrong is bite?
Right.
That's the only
But
way
the
to go.
thing-
I think another thing that women, I can't say that they're something they haven't listened about, but like women,
Movement, being lazy.
I'm
being
getting there.
lazy.
I'm getting there. So
Yeah.
I don't
Oh,
think
Lord.
women don't have the same amount of pressure as men to get really good at sex.
Yeah.
Like when like men have a lot of pressure, like, oh yeah, you need to be good at sex, but women don't, and so they just be a dead fish there.
Y'all don't have to
But
learn
I
how to be
think
good
it's-
until like y'all 30s.
Until they get into a relationship. Maybe like, I'm about to start trying some shit, but a nigga gotta come with like 18 playbooks, you know what I'm saying? Cause he gotta know, cause you gotta switch up your playbook every girl, you know what I'm saying? That way he's speaking to, like, you can't do the same plays with different girls cause every girl is different. That shit damn difficult, boy. Cause you think you got the move.
But some of
Hey,
that
that ain't no
because-
fucking move.
She
Nah.
just
Hold
laying
on.
there like, bruh,
Is
come
that a
with it.
pressure because of women, or is that a pressure because at that age, bravado and ego
You think?
is saying, let me talk all this stuff to this girl, make myself sound like I'm the bomb.com in bed, and now you have to deliver. And if you miss the spot you put up on the wall yourself, that's not.
Well, have you
I don't
ever
know. I
heard?
don't even think-
There was a thing going around when I was in school called a BDR. Have you heard of that? Are you familiar with those? BDRs? No, Mandy.
Am I
Explain it to
missing
him.
that?
BDRs are called bad dick reports.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yes.
That happened.
Yeah.
And
happened.
if you get one of these while you're in school, it can
It spreads.
It can spread, and this is before social media.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Imagine social
Yeah,
media.
social
my
media it'd be a
goodness.
wrap. It'd be some
So
single
are
dudes.
people
around.
passing these around on note paper?
Yeah.
Nah,
I mean, a lot of people
Or
word
is
of
it
mouth.
just word of mouth?
Yeah, it is word of mouth.
It's
Yeah.
word of
You know what
mouth.
I'm saying?
But like there is a lot of pressure on the guys that we have to really bring it and know what
You
you're
have to
doing
perform, man.
because and a lot of times you may not know because a lot of times it's some women out there that'll take, they'll be like, all right, I'm finna. It's probably
Wait, no.
I'm
Finish
finna
your
what?
sentence.
no, okay, like
What we finna do?
Put that thing on you.
it's no, I
Yeah,
think
what
I
were you gonna
was
say?
I think I was talking I'm trying to think who I was talking with about that, but it's not too many, like, women don't always, like, quote unquote, I think dudes can probably still picture in their head how many girls actually, like, fuck them.
Okay.
Like, rather than that you had sex
You
with
can
the
use
girl.
the count on one hand.
Yeah, the ones that you got in there and you was like, oh, she brung that shit. Most of the time it's us doing the work.
She
We
came
doing
in
the
game.
heavy lifting,
Yeah.
the heavy stroking.
You the director,
the
you the
cardio.
director, the producer, the goddamn actor, you everything in that motherfucker. They just co-star.
I used to call it naked cardio. That's what we used to have to do.
horizontal dance.
May I interject?
Listen, hey,
Stop
hey,
the madness.
this ain't number of facts over here
Hey.
now. This
May I
real talk.
interject? Okay, but we have to remember, like we talked about in the last episode where I was featured,
forgot.
and make sure that you check that one out as
Oh,
well
yeah,
if
for
you
sure.
haven't watched
Yeah,
it.
In the bio.
Society puts different pressures
Yeah.
on men and women, especially heterosexual men and women. So you're expected to have the playbook because you are encouraged more to go out and have sex and get experience versus women. They aren't encouraged to do the same thing. So of course, if I'm thinking that I have less partners than you and you are more experienced than me, yes, I am expecting you to probably be the director, be an actor,
Take the
guide me
lead.
and take the lead in the bedroom and let me know what it is, what I need to do and where I need to go. Because I'm not taught by society that I'm supposed to have all this experience
Right.
before I settle down. Versus me, like women, it's like, no, you need to have one. You're supposed to have one partner, maybe two.
Oh yes, I was just
Right,
gonna say that.
one or maybe two partners. But with men, it's like in high school, it's like you start having sex yet, right? And with
No, finish your thought.
with young men in high school, it's like, have you started having sex yet? And it's like worded differently.
It's different, right?
Right. But with young girls, it's like, you better not be having sex. So of course, when you get into these relationships and women are like, they're timid or they don't know how to take the lead because they aren't encouraged to take the lead in their sex lives. That's what happens.
It's society's fault.
Now that's you see
It's
the
the
picture.
white man's fault.
Listen, you see. Listen. You. I get that what you said, and I feel like that is the case for some, but not all women. But what about the like? Because like twerking is really big now, like on social media. But I think we all kind of partied around the same time where like twerking was like really big, like in the club. Now people don't really dance like that no more.
Yeah.
But like
They
I'm
don't?
talking about,
Yeah.
nah.
I mean, I
Scoops
really
do.
don't know.
Group of people do. I see it. It's
I gotta,
whatever your preference is.
I gotta see
I
because
think I know what you're saying. You saying like
most
back
of
in
the-
the day, all the whole
it was,
time. That's
it
what
was
it
like,
was.
well, y'all know from college.
Yeah.
I'm talking about how
Yeah,
college
college
part.
and
We'll
high
never
school.
see it like that again. Like
Yeah.
college, where everybody in there with their shoes off, with the shorts on. Like,
Yeah.
That was like a Fort
Get-
Valley thing, bro.
nah, that's everywhere, bro. We went to other schools. Oh, the shoes off.
See, I told
Yeah,
you.
one.
Y'all ain't never been at a party and been turned. Did you take them shoes off?
No.
Oh,
told you
well,
it's
that's
like
a Fort Valley thing. Well, in folk,
Did we see shoes off when we went to Fort Valley? For that
Look,
party?
you
I
you
don't take my
got
shoes
you
off.
only gonna get the best twerk when they take the shoes
yes,
off because
take
they got that
she
floor.
take her
They
shoes
be,
off.
they not
So it-
they.
I understand it's a sturdiness, but I'm not.
No,
taking my
it still
shoes
was
off.
nasty. Yeah, we're not
But
saying
that
it
gave
wasn't.
you
Not
like-
excusing that, but
Yeah.
the pleasure.
That
was
gave
there.
you hope for later. Though.
Yeah, but I said that to say because what you were saying, okay, that's cool for those like shyer women. But what about explain to me the women that would do all this crazy stuff to you on the dance floor, and then you get in the bedroom and they lay there. You like, hold on. I thought you told me you could do that on the dick, and now this is what you do.
But sex and dancing, that's two totally.
That's false advertising.
So you saying
maybe
you
I'm-
saying it's different. He's thinking it's they're very
That's sex.
thing. They're like they go together. But you're
Yes.
saying I think even women
Because
judge
I dance.
and women
you know.
judge men how they dance,
Yes.
how they fuck, same. And
Right,
I think
like,
men
it's
do
a
the same
lot
thing.
of-
movement,
like
sure.
Right?
Yeah,
And
because
it's all hips.
Sex appeal,
yeah,
sure.
hips and because it's just like with Chris Brown, people assume
That he
he's
has some
good
good
in
motion.
bed.
I don't know if
I think
because-
Chris Brown no homo. I think Chris Brown stroking him.
I do.
homo.
Okay, so
Yeah,
That's a
It's same thing with
possibility.
Sierra. I feel like Sierra damn put it on you.
You think so?
Yeah, boy, you saw Ryder video?
but just because we
I don't believe
can't,
that shit, bro. I
but
don't
we
be believing
can't
that
equate
Dancing
dancing
to
to sex because that's just like okay when we think about like the early European settlers, right?
What?
They-
Hold on, where this
Bro,
going?
we
just went-
But
Bring it in.
listen,
Okay.
so we think about these early European explorers who came to Africa, and they assumed that black women were like these sexual beings because of how they danced and how they moved their bodies.
They was tearing them things up,
So,
dude.
but we don't know that because we weren't there. So it was just, it's assumed that these women are more sexual because of the way they dance and because of the way they dress and all those different things. And we still carry those notions today. So because you know how to dance, you must be great in bed. You must be like this wildly sexual
something.
being. Right. But I could just like to
dance.
dance, but that doesn't mean that I'm good in bed.
I think that to play to your point, I think that what is appealing about dance and how it
Right.
parallels with sex is rhythm and motion and beat and movement. And so I can see why you say that because I do equate that with
Being in tune with each
Yeah.
other, man. That's real.
Yeah,
You
but I
vibing with
think
somebody on
it's
the dance
kinda-
floor?
It is disappointing when things don't show up in the bedroom, but even still, I can't really have that big of an expectation because when we were dancing, there wasn't any intercourse. We weren't really having sex, you know.
Right, and men don't really dance with you.
No.
They-
No,
They just
y'all,
stand-
listen.
Nah,
Listen,
I don't
that's-
dance like that.
Listen,
don't
that's
dance
listen,
like that.
that's
I'm
the
sorry.
dude. That's the dude. That's the dude. Y'all, so y'all didn't never had no
Y'all
dude that
wrong
like
niggas.
moves with y'all too.
I don't.
Like with a sway.
No,
Like,
I'm
come on,
talking
give me a
about
little
like
bit of
we stroking.
Are
I
you
don't
dry
remember the
humping
last
in
time
the-
I went.
It's
Yeah,
she was in
since
middle
I'm
school or
back.
some shit. That shit.
Y'all was nasty in middle school too at them sock ops.
Not the sock
Yeah.
hop.
That was the first time you twerked without no shoes on. You just forgot.
Real niggas, yeah, but real niggas don't just stand there, bro. Like that's real niggas just don't
It's
stand
nice to
there.
see a guy that can dance.
No,
Or has
yeah.
some type of rhythm. He don't have to be a Chris Brown, but someone that enjoys dance naturally.
Girls,
No,
really
that's
don't
one.
crack
That's
rappers
one
dance.
thing. That's one thing I saw. Like I really think that's like a Southern and maybe like Atlanta thing. Is like guys dance out here. Like,
Yeah.
and you still see it today. Like Dudes will go out and dance with their homeboys, and I promise you that's really like I wouldn't necessarily say it's a Georgia thing, but it's definitely like a Southern thing, because when I go back to the West Coast, you ain't seeing a whole bunch of dudes and stuff.
They too cool.
Dancing with each other. And same thing up north. They not, they may have a little bop or a little dance every once in a while, but in the South is like a whole nother thing where it's like dudes that go out with their homeboys and be like, we don't care if the girls ain't turning up. We finna have fun.
Yeah, you do.
And I was never like, I would go out with homeboys, but when we went out, we trying to dance with girls. But
I think it's still like that, right?
I got a question. So is it how she moves her body, or is it how her body is shaped and how she moves her body?
That's a good question.
It's kind of both, because it's a combination, because now, of course, if she looks good, you automatically gonna look. But I've seen some people.
I'm not talking about face.
Nah,
I'm
she
talking
talking
about
about-
body
Oh
shape.
no, I'm talking about in the club. That's face. I don't care how your face
No,
looks. You
but
can
I'm
have one
talking
eye and one
about-
tooth.
Yeah, body type.
Just
Yeah,
body
yeah.
type,
Because
no
I
face.
see that all the time, because and not to get off subject, which I know when I say that I get off subject.
You do.
But
All the
like
time.
it's a
don't
lot
go
of
so far.
women in the club that have like very high self-confidence, and it's like it's really just only your body, and if I saw you outside, I probably wouldn't talk to you.
Okay, I asked that because, right, you're equating the two together. And so when men see women, or when we see each other, period, our first thought, we don't know we're thinking this, but our first thought is this somebody that I can mate with, right? So it's not.
Hold on, this
You
motherfucker.
okay? You got nervous?
That nigga heard. Look. No.
when he said
First of all, you
So,
trigger like an animalistic thing. She said, "Mate." I said, hold on, shouting. Simba.
So, that's one of the first things that,
It ain't nothing in there, B. It's a little, bro.
the first thing
Kevin's known for wasting
that
liquor.
we think about, and men look at women's bodies, and the thing is like, this is a body that I can, like, her body is fit to carry a child, basically. So like, you're looking at her hips, you're looking at her
That's
butt.
what you think?
No, this is what I know. 'cause
We
I studied this.
definitely don't think about
be
carrying no
thinking that.
child.
I
She
said-
But what she said was
Yes,
your first thought that
unconsciously.
you don't. So like your
Yeah.
first automatic thought, which we usually skip over.
Yeah.
So you saying by my brain, by the time I say she fine, subconsciously I'm saying that I want to mate with her.
You want to have sex with her. You want to mate with her. You see her
And then
as a
pull out.
potential
Or when
mate.
you saying okay,
But
You
not
see
have
her
a
as
baby,
saying
just
sex,
pull
not have a
out.
baby.
No, but
Okay,
when we
okay.
think mating is having sex.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
When I think mate, I'm thinking you saying have a baby.
And be
Right,
stuck.
but mating
Mating
is
is for
sex.
sex.
Yeah,
Yeah. Mating is
sex
for making
is
babies.
for.
I don't like
Yeah.
mating, because mating
So,
seems like you
but-
gotta have a kid.
It's
But
the wording.
It's the wording.
Can we say mating with a pull out?
No.
I like that.
So
You mating yet?
Mating?
You
Nigga
cannot
say,
cover your cup. You
but
cannot cover your cup.
that's why I asked, because that's why I asked, because like, you're looking at how they are moving their body as well as their body type, and that's what's attracting you to them sexually. It's not just that they can dance, it's how it's their body, how they're moving their body. And our first when we see people, we like to say, "Oh my God," but when we see them, we are sexually attracted to them, because you can't like somebody for their brain when
You
you
don't know their
see
brain.
them the first time. We're always sexually attracted
true.
to people.
That's true.
And we're sexually attracted to people based off of our instincts to mate.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, when that's all we can see. That's right.
I mean, and now when you say that for ladies too, correct?
Yes.
Because I hear a lot of time, a lot of ladies be like,
exclusion.
I liked his, his smile, and
But-
he
but,
seemed
I
like he
mean-
was a good person.
But for women, it's more like, okay,
I gotta say,
this-
what are y'all looking at in the club? Y'all can't see shit.
the
but
provider.
yeah, so I'm
What?
looking.
You look like a provider?
No. I didn't
Yes.
say
Better
that.
words.
Yeah.
I said yeah.
Yes.
But we're all first and foremost, we're all sexually attracted to each other. So for women, that could be how tall you are, your facial features,
Your
and all
body
those,
structure.
your body
How
structure.
you walk.
Because we look at body type too.
Wow.
Right?
Y'all
So
shit way
a
different
lot
than
of
us.
people don't think that women look at men's bodies like that. Like we prefer certain parts on a man to look nice and all that stuff like that too. So, but sexual attraction is what gets us to anybody. And we like to say, oh, their eyes are beautiful. No, you like their body and you want to have sex with
what
them.
what about all the, because we've had a couple women on the pod that say they like big men. So, and, you know, shout out to the big dudes out there swagged out, you know, no shots to them, but like,
Holla at Kena if you big.
yeah, but, and we hear, Galloway said that same thing too, and these are like really tiny, like y'all are a little bit more muscular, but these are like
lying.
really,
He always say this shit.
yeah,
man.
these are really tiny like women. They like, yeah, I like them big chunky.
They
like,
lying.
what about them is like, do you want to just see his big old bet? Like, have you
I
talked
don't
to
know.
friends? Have you guys had any friends that like big dudes? Like what? And I'm not talking about big football player. I'm talking about like fat sloppy, because that's what I equate what they're talking about in their head.
We are.
I cannot comment on that.
But you've
People
never
have
had
their
anybody like
preferences.
like what you've heard. Like I've always like, I'm like, because to me in my head I'm like, you like what they got in their wallet. That's why you see.
But
big
you know,
dudes.
back in the day, being big or
Yeah, them
fat,
kings.
however, you know,
Genghis
that
Khan was fat as fuck.
equated with wealth.
Oh yeah, because you can
Yeah,
eat good.
because you eat, you know, you eat good.
I think
that's still that way.
What's up, Amie? What you got?
Literally what just came to mind is something Amanda always says, which is don't yuck someone's yum.
You
And
gotta
that-
listen, Beth.
I be listening a
Don't
little bit.
yuck. Someone's
else.
young.
Yeah.
You got that on the
Yeah.
shirt.
Y'all be using little sayings with each other all the time. We don't do that.
I got this.
She got that from me.
That's what I'm saying. Y'all use sayings with each other, like,
Yeah, we
just
are
be talking
best
straight.
friends.
but we just be talking straight. Like, I
Don't yuck someone's yum.
I'm gonna try to fit that into our conversation.
No,
now.
sir. Don't you say
I
that to
will.
me.
But I used to say I used to sell sex toys, so I used to say that at my parties.
Ah, okay.
What's the guy version of that?
Of
The
what?
same thing.
Yeah.
No, sir. And no grown man saying yuck.
No. Different stroke for different folk.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
It's the same thing.
Nah, she said no, it's
It
not
does
the
mean
same
the
thing.
same
It
But,
means the same
but
thing.
yours sounds way sweeter if a dude said it.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
You can walk up and say that. It do sound crazy though. It just like what the yucks and I don't know. It
Don't
just sound
yuck
crazy.
someone's yum.
Yeah.
Dewey.
That's they yum. Don't
Yeah.
you ain't
what
gotta
they
eat
think
it.
is yummy, you don't have to yuck it.
Different stroke for different folk.
Yeah.
Yeah. So boom. Either way, so that's how I would answer your question about why do they like what they like.
Yeah, people-
It's their preference. There are larger women that like smaller framed men that are smaller than you. because
We've
you
had
probably-
we got some homeboys that they dabble in the bigger boneds.
Bigger boned.
Bigger bones.
Bones aren't big.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, they the same
Bones are
size.
big.
Yeah.
Well, the
guy.
meat outside the bones.
All right.
Big meats.
You will not fat shame.
Yeah.
I'm not fat.
This
And then you
podcast.
said no offense when you started out. Now I'm confused.
Right.
All right.
It's all good.
We are not with the fat shaming.
Okay.
Fuck that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't date fat women, but I don't fat shame them.
I'm not fat shaming. If you
It's
a
too
lot
much
of
work for
bigger,
me.
Kinda
lot of
just did.
lot of bigger.
It's just
lot
too
of
much
bigger
work for
people
me. It's
are-
like a physical thing. It's too much work for
But
me.
no, I've always,
you
because like I said, with
Stop
you
shaming,
being,
though, they're beautiful. I
since
just can't do it.
since we have, you know, the sex therapist, and like, can you, like, you never asked anybody, like, is that not a conversation, or nobody's ever asked, like, why am I attracted to because I had a phase like that when I was in school where I liked bigger girls. Like, it was,
I had a phase too
yeah.
in high school.
Like, what is that? Like you said with the mating, because I didn't really want to mate with them. It was just like, you're intriguing.
And that goes into another question I was gonna get into about fetishes.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess can we move into
You had a fetish?
That's
Yeah.
so that's what I wanted to ask. Like,
big pretty girls.
like how does something like
Amie
that
like
you
y'all
do
and
something that you do during sex,
Say
like
anything.
like maybe she likes a certain thing during sex. Like maybe
Yeah.
what's like the pain is pleasure type,
like
all this
choking
stuff.
and shit.
Like
Right. So it
BDSM.
might start off as a little choke, right?
bondage and
right. Then they want a little more, and then a little
slap
more.
in the back of the head.
Yeah. And then like a little harder, and then you punch in the back, and she like, yeah, that's it. And you like, wait, I ain't comfortable with this. Nah, I'm trying to say like where.
pineapples.
Say that, yeah.
Oh, the safe word.
Yeah.
Wait, you
Please
can you
have a
say
safe
pineapples? You punching her now? You saying pineapple because I'm uncomfortable?
With BDSM, you are to have safe words.
Okay.
I've read.
Okay.
I've done my reading.
All right.
Yeah, you have to have safe words.
You said,
Okay.
hold on, say that again. Because you be trying to throw them little big words in there.
No,
when you-
BDSM.
BDSM.
It's an acronym. Just leave it.
What does it mean? I explain my acronym. God, don't leave me lost.
It's like, I don't know what it means, bro. Let me Google it.
Do you know?
Bondage, domination.
I feel like that's what Amie likes. Yeah.
I'm gonna let y'all Google.
It's
I'm gonna
okay,
say
Amie.
it.
How did you know that?
What is it?
Because I read.
Oh, yes.
Bondage,
I looked it
discipline.
up.
It's
Why
a
would you
bunch of
read
shit.
that?
Yeah.
Same reason why I read everything else.
You were
To know or
interested
get-
in it.
So I'm not
Sadomasochism.
a expert in BDSM and kink. So like those are one of the things that are outside my scope of practice. But different people have different kinks and different things turn them on in the bedroom. So those are, some things you have to talk to your partner about, and communication is important because the thing with BDSM lifestyles and kinks and all those different things is all about communication. It's all about consent, and it's all about really taking care of your partner.
Right.
With the program that I'm in, the human sexuality program, and I'm very fortunate to be exposed to a lot of different things and a lot of different sexual lifestyles. So I actually got to see a live flogging.
Oh, wow.
Wait.
So
Come on.
flogging.
No,
So-
talking about back in the day with the whips.
Yeah,
Well,
so
yeah,
people
that's
use
a part
those.
of-
Yeah, that's one of.
Wait, what's a flogging now?
You know
A
what that is
flogger.
when you
What
was
a flogging
bad.
is.
What the British used
So
to do to
it's
folks.
like a.
They never show it, and I never
It's
know
like
what it
fringes.
is.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a fringe?
A what?
A friend.
Fringe.
Remember Kuta Kente when
And
they
that's a
beat
TV
him?
show? Friends?
Sometimes it'll be on a cowboy's jacket, and it's that
Like the
leather
fringe.
that's.
Oh, the little this is hanging down?
Yeah.
It used to be on the back of your
So-
mama purse back in the day.
Yeah.
So
Oh, okay.
I got to see that live, and it was very intimate.
Wait, I still don't know what it is.
I don't look it up.
Oh,
It's
you
a
can't explain
beating.
it?
I just
It's a
tried
beating?
to.
Yes.
You just
No.
told me what the
So,
stuff hanging down was.
Flogger.
Huh?
Look up a flogger.
Do not look that up on your phone, bruh.
I'm going to get asked for it or something?
Probably so.
Flogger.
I wouldn't
Gonna
let
have
she
Flogger
some,
fishing?
cookies.
Just flogger.
Why she had you pull it up and she didn't pull it up on her phone?
Oh, I got one of those. That's what it's called?
Yeah.
I got a lot of stuff. I just buy stuff. No,
So
I didn't know that was new.
so yeah, I got to see it.
Oh, this is a flogger.
Yeah, and
Oh,
it was a
okay.
very intimate experience to see, and what
You just do them
happens.
kind of soft sometimes.
Yeah,
you don't do them
people
hard all
they
the
do
time.
it kind of soft.
Yeah.
And it gets
The
more.
sensations.
Yeah, it gets more intense as as they go. But one of
Too
the
much.
keys to BDSM
I've
is
nutted already.
the
Put it away.
Okay.
is the
The
aftercare.
old-fashioned way.
One of the keys to BDSM is the aftercare part. So
What is that now?
Very
So it's
important.
Disinfectant.
say you use the flogger, right?
This is a flogger. That's
On
crazy.
your partner, so you might massage the area where you use the flogger. You might cuddle
That's interesting. I
in
never
the
thought about that.
connection and everything after
Yeah.
that. But it's all about consent and communication. So
It's a very intimate. It should. Well, I don't want to say it's a very intimate thing.
yeah,
You like
I have an
it?
episode about this on my YouTube channel, so
Mm-hmm.
make sure that you check that out.
Shout her out again.
The Prude's Guide to Intimacy.
People definitely gonna because
So-
niggas is nasty. Somebody
Yeah.
gonna check that out.
So, like,
Don't say
Yucking
people.
so much, yeah.
Don't say people are nasty just because you aren't willing to try something different.
yuck for your yum.
I
that right?
Yuck
still have
somebody.
a,
Yuck
Don't
someone.
yuck their yum.
Right.
Why do people act like folks can't have likes and dislikes anymore?
No, but it's not
But
like
it's coming from a judgment place.
Yeah, when you say something as nasty, but that's just what those people like, you know, in the bedroom. Like that's what they enjoy doing. That's what turns them on.
So is there a time where like a fetish like it goes wrong? Like so let's say I have a fetish for big girls. Right now I'm just looking for fat girl, not fat, big girls.
Big meats.
What's the little term from BBW?
BBW. No,
yeah, BBW.
So okay, now I'm looking for BBWs because I have a
BMW.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, is that a negative thing or is that okay? Like I have a fetish for BBWs. Now I'm only looking for BBWs because I have a fetish. Is that okay?
So I feel like the fetish becomes a problem when it's like you're only using them for sex, right? So you don't want to have like, and if they,
further.
I mean, there are some people out there who make money off of other people's fetishes. So you know,
Instagram.
Their websites dedicated to that. So the thing is though, like, you know, there are some people who have fetishes for black women, and
right. That's
what?
And they get in a relationship with them.
I didn't know that.
Shut up. So, like, the only reason they date them is because, like, I want to have sex with a black girl, right? And it's just like, you know, with black people, period. People have fetishes, you know, with us because they have preconceived notions about us being sexual beings, these uber sexual beings. So it becomes a problem
pretty good looking though.
When it is, you know, only for your benefit and the other person isn't aware of what's going on. Okay. So it's like they aren't consenting to be a part of your fetish.
Okay, I get that. Yeah. Okay, that clears that up. Okay, next question. So this is about. So I always hear about men who struggle with like being faithful, or you know what I'm saying, being monogamous, right? And I used to like dumb it down and say, oh, niggas ain't shit, and I used to be very offensive towards niggas because I'm like, nigga, just control your penis. But now I'm thinking like, I think niggas really have a problem. So I'm thinking like, is sexual addiction a thing that most black men might have or something?
So I don't think I'm gonna say men, period. I'm not just gonna put that on black men because there's a
black men don't cheat.
Not gonna say that. We're not gonna lie.
Well, I feel like black men have more sex than most other people.
I feel like there is a
because of stigmas. No, because of those false stigmas that black men blah 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 blah.
You feel like
have more sex because like
you have to uphold that image.
No, I'm saying like it brings more people to you just because.
Oh well, I can see that because people are fetishizing.
Fuck it,
yeah.
Fantasizing?
Fetish. You are fetish.
You're a fetishizing. If a white girl come up to you, she probably might not want you. She just want to see what black meat hitting her.
She do want me.
No.
Because I'm black.
That's not you though. That's
not you.
It is part of me.
You're not
gonna shame me. You're not gonna shame. No, you're not gonna drop my self-esteem.
You have been objectified.
Nope.
But
objectified. Didn't even know it.
Right.
But no,
that's. But so I just feel like a lot of people don't know how to.
God damn. I'm sorry.
Communicate when they are just done, instead of saying like, I don't want to be with you right now. I'm just gonna go be with Amie while I'm with you, and not.
So you think it's more so
discuss.
So you think it's a communication problem?
I think for me, everything comes down to talking to people.
I believe that. I believe
but
a lot.
also, I feel like sometimes it's a commitment. It could be commitment issues. It could be communication. But I don't want to just put that on black men, because I know a lot of faithful black men, and you know, white men be trash too.
I think that to me is a lack of control.
Yeah,
because there's women that also
impulse
cheat and do all those things, right?
Yeah.
You're
Y'all
not
just don't
really
get
thinking.
What their names is?
Who?
We
I
are
just want to know.
What?
I'm saying I don't want to be none of the women I know. You know what
Well,
I'm saying?
I don't know who you know, and
That's why I asked for the
wouldn't tell
names.
business.
What's the names here? Give me some initials.
JK.
But no, I think it's a lack of control. The inability for you to, like she said, it's an impulse thing. Like, you're not going to think this all the way through. You're not going to consider that you're also dealing with someone else. You don't care enough about their feelings, whatever the situation is.
That's
and then I
interesting.
also think it's the communication piece, because and I know you'll say, well, society can and whatever, to play the game, but it's like, be straightforward. I'm having sex with this person, or I'm no longer interested in you, or hey, can we have an open relationship because I need something more? Like, have a conversation about what it is you need.
I feel like that shit sound cute, but that shit don't work out for black men.
But also, a lot of times what we don't talk about is men having mommy issues. Like, we love to talk about women having daddy issues because their dads weren't there for them and all this stuff. But a lot of men have their mamas wasn't there. Just
I don't
like
believe
how
that. What else we got? That's all we got.
everybody.
All we have is mommy figures, grandma or mama.
I don't think that they weren't there. I think that
we would have been.
I think that
savages.
because we
but
were
just because so
I don't think mommy issue is saying that they're not there.
Right. It's not saying that they aren't there.
What is it saying?
But it's like, if some people have mommy issues because of the way they have seen their mothers be treated by other men. Yeah. They have mother issues because how their mothers treated them because their fathers left. Because it's like, your dad left, now I'm gonna treat you because your daddy ain't shit. You not gonna.
I feel like
it's
supposed to be the opposite though. If you see somebody you love who care for you get hurt and left and alone to take care of this responsibility, I would think that most black men would, and now this in theory, of course not in practice, that most black men would be faithful because most of the black fathers aren't there. You know what I'm saying?
What other factor is going to teach you to be faithful and reasons to be faithful?
If you've never seen it.
It's a two-way street. It's either your parents was together or you saw them
But there are people out there, like, we love to what's that thing? Put old school relationships like on a pedestal.
And they had
but
a lot of families.
And a lot of our grandfathers were cheating on our grandmothers, and our grandmothers stayed because they didn't have a choice economically. They stayed for survival, but like, we like to put those on a pedestal, but a lot of generally speaking, a lot of our grandfathers were Rolling Stones, and they have a lot of outside children and different things like that. So just because your parents were together doesn't mean they were a good example or good role models for like what a relationship should look like. And if you don't know how to receive love and reciprocate that, it's easier for you to not be able to control your emotions, because when you love somebody and you have this intimate connection, just because you're sexually attracted to somebody else, in that instance, like, oh wow, they're nice looking, but I have this great person over here, I can control myself. So like she said, it's definitely an impulse thing. It comes down to communication, and a lot of people, they aren't built for monogamy.
No.
I think most people aren't.
A lot of people aren't built for monogamy.
I think most people aren't built for monogamy. It don't make sense.
We also don't like to think of monogamy being a choice.
Right.
We, as a society, have chosen monogamy to be the norm and the standard. But to be monogamous is a choice. There are so many other relationship dynamics out there. But when we think about all these other relationship dynamics, we only equate it to having sex with multiple partners.
Right.
Instead of it being multiple partnerships with different loving partnerships with different people, great communication, and all those different things. So like she said, like, maybe you want to be in an open relationship, but you don't know how to communicate that with your partner. So instead of talking about that, you just go get in a whole nother relationship.
Or I think that also you can be fighting the idea that you you might actually want that, but to be confused to say, well, I'm supposed to only be with one person.
Right.
But you might really want to be more than one person, but if that's not the norm and that's not what you thought and were taught, then when you get into this relationship, you're going to veer off because a part of you kind of wants to explore.
You want to have two partners, and that's okay.
Right. But then here comes communication again, though. There are people out there that want that.
But I'm saying it's cute to say that's okay. And I was talking to my boy about this.
I also have a episode about this on the Prude's Guide to Intimacy.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. We're going to link all the episodes in the show notes.
She got an episode on everything.
Right.
Yeah.
It's called the Prude's Guide to Intimacy.
Right.
So me and my boy was talking about this, and we were saying like, okay, if I get in a relationship with somebody or whatever, like I want to have a if I just want to have kids, or I want to have a family or whatever, I want to have kids. In order for me as a man, a black man, I don't know if race got something to do with it.
You can say it's a black man, you black.
I have to align myself. I don't know. I have to align myself with a woman, and we have to go through these whole, I got to be monogamous, blah, 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 in order for that to happen.
Because you choose to be monogamous.
Right.
Right.
But if I wanted to have a family without that connection to her and still have a kid, there's no way for that to happen for me as a black man.
No, really not as a black man, just as a man.
Yeah, I'm black, but that's why I say that.
You're seeing women do it all the time.
I'm saying women had an opportunity to be a mother, and they can just be a mother. If they want to cut the man out, they can do that, and that's fine. I can't be a man and say I want to have a kid and raise a kid myself and
still fuck these hoes.
Why can't you do that?
Because it ain't no situation where a woman had a kid and I can take that kid.
Go adopt.
It's called a surrogate.
Man,
you have options.
There are egg donors, just like there are sperm banks.
Yeah. You have options.
That seems very risky.
That. But that's risky when women decide to have children on their own. There are a lot of women who don't get married by certain ages, and they decide, okay, well, I'm going to get a sperm donor because I want kids.
So we get an egg donor. Somebody just give us an egg. So somebody just give us an egg, and we just go in with that.
They take their egg.
What you know about
it?
it?
For women to go do it, but men can't.
No, I'm saying for the reg.
We haven't explored.
Hell no.
There are a lot of men out there who are single fathers by choice. They go adopt, or they get a surrogate, or something.
Heterosexual man went and just adopted a kid,
or did a surrogate, or just got some.
I'm pretty sure there is a story out there. About
if you on there listening to the pod, I don't know no heterosexual.
We need you to come on.
I don't know a heterosexual man that's like, I'm gonna go adopt a kid.
But that goes down to gender roles too, right? Because we don't see men as these nurturing people, so we don't assume that men can just like want a kid without being married.
We want kids though.
No, I said without being married.
I'm saying that only reason I say that is because that marriage come with a lot of things, man. With a lot of sometimes difficulties because the communication ain't there, or like a million other issues, right?
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. Like we just don't have the option to easily.
You do have the option. It's just not the norm.
It's frowned upon. And now, because like you were saying, we do, but us as guys, we didn't really think of that. Like, oh, if you just want a kid, you can go adopt. And I think most men, I think just a pride thing. I don't think a lot of men
think
would.
It's pride?
I think personally, me and most dudes that you would ask, like, you want to have a kid that
you're saying passing genetics now.
Yeah, you want to have a kid that looks like you. Like that's a man thing.
Yeah, I feel
like you want that. Like you're like, I think women a lot of times is like, I want a baby, but guys be like, I want a son and he need to look like me, act like me.
I don't even think about that, but it's like it is certain. You want to have one that came from you, saying that I want to pass, everything I got along.
Well,
I think they're gonna
if
be
you get a surrogate. and you get an egg donor, you can
No,
do that.
And I totally agree with what you're saying. Like, and that's great. And I think a lot of dudes would probably be in a better
Y'all
position.
just want to have baby sperm.
No,
That ain't a thing. That's that costs like $50,000. You can't just do that, man.
I mean,
You can't just do
hold
it.
on,
Huh?
Why
Kelvin.
can't you?
How you
Kelvin,
gonna do that?
Kelvin, what you
If
think?
you want a
You
child,
can't just
you
do
will
that,
Kelvin,
that.
see, Kelvin, like I'm thinking, like I said, we just haven't thought about these things. But what you think you paying for when you have if you got means and you have a baby by some random chick and she take you to court and you gotta pay child support?
No, nigga, that
Money
ain't.
is gonna
How's
be
it not the
about
same
either
thing?
way.
You gotta put out 50,000 or whatever how
On the
much a
front
cereal
end.
cost on the front end, and you still gotta take care when you get here, man.
Yes.
But
Come
what you
on,
want
man.
is a kid, right?
To not
So
have
you
the
want
stress,
it
to
or
not
not.
have that
You
stress.
just said to have
It
the
is a choice.
option of having a kid without the connection, without having to get married.
It's $50,000
And that's one of the
upfront.
choices.
Is
I'm
it really
saying-
$50,000 though?
It's
It's
expensive.
I just put a number out there, but I'm
okay.
saying that
It's
I know.
probably costs more than that.
Yeah, it's probably more. Like I know that like the.
Shit, let me start selling these things.
To freeze your eggs is like 20,000 or something like
Yeah,
that.
it's
So
an
that I'm just
expensive
comparing
process.
it to that. But I'm saying that if a woman want to do that shit, it's risky. It's risky.
It's options for you, Kelvin. You just
But
don't like
It's
those
risky
options.
on the terms of them having a having a
You
baby.
have the
because that's
same
like,
options.
They can die from pregnancy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh my God, we were
very
just
risky.
talking about that.
It's very risky.
Kelvin,
Like, people
stop
don't think about
ignoring,
that, but it's
stop
very
ignoring
risky.
it. You have the same options. You just
It
don't
ain't-
like
it's
those
only
options.
It's only two options: adoption and
You have
surrogate.
the same option
That's
they have.
the same option
Yeah,
that
Because
women
you can just
have.
fuck some random
No,
girl.
y'all don't. Y'all can have a baby the regular way
Then you
and
can
keep
have
the
that
baby.
option.
So we
too.
have 3 options.
Yes, but this third option is like 80% of
It's
what's
like,
happening. It's like
us.
90% of
But
what's
still,
happening.
if I decided today that I wanted to have a baby on my own, it would still cost me money because I would have to still pay for the sperm.
No, you could just fuck
to
a
get
dude
the
and then
baby.
be like,
you could just be with your regular
it's
dude.
Georgia.
Go
Mom.
No, I
Yeah.
said if I decided I wanted to have a baby, like
On
if
my
I
own,
wasn't
without the
in a
connection, same way that
relationship
you're
without a
describing it.
connection,
And you
I
can-
would have to go to a sperm bank.
You don't
Kel-
have to.
Pick a
You can go
donor.
find a guy.
I wouldn't. I'm talking about me. I would
No,
not
he
find
talking
a random
about
person
like
to
women
a
have
baby
that.
with.
He
I'm
said,
saying you have
men,
that
you
option.
do.
We don't even have that
Kelvin,
option.
you
We
do
can't
have
do
that option. You just
Man,
got
we-
you got to knock
Shoot
her
in the
out.
club.
Then when she in the club, you got to steal the
A
baby.
lot.
Now you definitely going to jail, nigga. But
I didn't say it was
Kidnapping.
legal. It wasn't legal yet.
like y'all can go and find you a nigga and like you
You
know.
can do that too. You
No,
can,
how? She go get the baby.
not if y'all have an agreement.
Man, what tell man? What,
A legal you
Kelvin,
better
now
go
you
to a
ain't
lawyer.
never seen that before. When you
on
you know.
Netflix
No,
on
no,
the
but I'm-
D-budget
I'm
movies.
just talking
Your
about you
neighbor's
ain't
gonna come
seen
and be
somebody
like, "What are
sometime
y'all
before
talking
and you
about?
was like, no, I'm just saying like dudes. I know a lot of
Got
times
really
like
intense.
no, like we would look at certain women and be
Somebody
like,
give
yeah.
Kelvin a baby without
No, like
commitment.
we would see,
I would, bro.
we would
Kelvin wants
see.
things exactly
Listen,
like you want
I almost took my niece, man, and just raised her. For
No,
real.
you would see.
I wanted my
Like,
sister to go to college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and dudes,
I
you
did.
would see certain women. You'd be like, I have baby by her.
Hell yeah, look at
Like yeah, you'd be like,
Exactly.
Didn't I just say that?
them genetics good.
no,
So you in agreement?
no, I don't.
Mating.
Mating was yeah, but you said it like everybody's. Not
Science.
90% is mate and pull out. But sometimes you be like,
change your mind.
Some you be like,
Mating
shoot.
is just the scientific
Sometimes-
word for sex.
Sometimes you see and you be like, I stay in that. But you don't, what Kelvin is basically saying is you don't have that option to be like, yeah, she look like somebody I want to have a kid with. I can't just get her pregnant and then take the baby. Now you can get her pregnant and dip. Now we do have, y'all don't have
can
that
do
option.
that.
Y'all don't have that option. So I guess
We do have that
We do have the
Why
option to
can't
take
I
Put 'em
up
take
to
that baby up and
adoption.
Put 'em
They can put them up for
or leave
adoption.
them on your
Yeah.
doorstep, and not that.
Yeah, but
Take them
that's,
to your mama.
you have that choice, but it's just like, it puts you in a
Is it frowned
situation.
upon?
But it's just
In Alabama.
But I
And
think
Georgia.
it's because people assume that all women
Wanna
want to
have
be
kids.
Mother.
No, see,
I don't believe that.
No, I'm just saying, like you,
don't believe
like
that.
at the end of the day, we have to say that,
Well,
like
I
y'all
don't-
have
I don't mean-
y'all have way more rights than us. Like if
You know that.
if me and you
That's for
have if me and you mate, if I want the baby and you don't, at the end of the day, it's your body. You have that choice.
Yeah, for sure.
Even though a part of me is in you.
Yeah.
I can't be like, hey, I want you to have the baby. You need to have it.
Yeah, she got to agree to that.
Yeah,
you have all the control.
Like he said, because I'm taking on the most risk if I have the child.
She can die.
I could die.
You could die if you have an abortion.
But either way, it's still a choice.
She got the choice because she got to die, nigga.
Listen, nobody.
You gonna die if she die too?
Listen, I'm not saying you not.
Like,
I'm not.
No, but I get it. No, but I definitely understand what you're saying. Like, I get to make the choice because it's my body. But the thing is that women take on, when a couple decides, a heterosexual couple decides, like, okay, we are going to have a baby. The woman takes on the most risk because she is carrying the baby. It takes the most toll on her body. Right. And when we talk about Black women, their mortality rate is very low when it comes to childbirth. Like, we die the most on the birthing table. Yeah. So it's kind of like the thing is,
we
like,
don't want to talk about the worst stuff, but
that's the reality.
It's reality. But no, they get it. But I'm saying we're on the same page.
Like, I get what you're saying.
I want to see the statistics for that.
No, that's real. But
that's like one of the Black fathers aren't present thing. Like, come on,
that's real. Black women die more on the birthing table than anybody because they feel like.
How do they know that?
Because they document who died and what the race is. What are you talking about?
Because they feel that Black women can take on more pain.
How many people do all of us know in this room? Do y'all know anybody who passed away during child support?
Did you know? I'm about to give you some history. Did you know that early?
Listen, we can't let Ba7ic Logic.
Did you know that early gynecology techniques were first practiced on Black women without
everything
anesthesia?
You not remember the Tuskegee experiment?
Yeah, but
we always get stuff experimented on this.
But I'm just saying, speaking to why, the mortality is because people feel like Black women have this high threshold.
Because y'all are supposed to be strong.
Exactly, which is why we
push that baby out. Y'all had a lot of the masters babies back then.
But that's why. That's why we die on the birthing table higher than any other person.
Society.
No, but I'm just saying, like, Kelvin's saying he wants the same choices, but that's not realistic.
Not all the same choice, but I'm saying if
you're not gonna have it.
I'm saying there was an easier situation where I can just.
You just have to find somebody who is willing to be like, oh yeah, I'll have your baby.
That don't exist.
But one thing you didn't really touch on, I want you to kind of like. I feel like people. Yes, I feel like people are as loyal as their choices are their options. Because I feel like men and women too as well. Like, you look at somebody like Oprah, all the money she got, but she don't have no kids. But that's her choice. Like, someone, a man that's famous or just someone who has a lot of means, he can choose to be like, yeah, I want this woman, but I want that one too. Like, society has made it seem like, okay, everybody needs to be like, married together, have a kids, a house, but everybody's not built that way. Everybody don't need kids. Like, I tell people all the time, like, you hear this, like we were saying with the whole sex thing, people are like, oh, I'm waiting till marriage to have sex. What if you don't get married? Like, everybody's not meant to get married and have kids. You just never gonna have sex in your life. Like, can you kind of speak to that? Like,
what's your question?
Well, my
he do this all the time, man. He get lost in what the fuck he's saying.
No, my question,
I'm like, look, man, say the question at first and then stop.
Fuck all that. My question
he don't
is,
know what the question is. He just want to say some shit.
My question is, do you feel like people are as loyal as they are? Because people like to kind of put it on like, well, you just need to control yourself, and it's like, if you got multiple options, like,
you doing it again.
I'm
just
missing.
Put it out there.
I don't know.
My question,
just say your question and stop.
Okay, I'm gonna give my example and then I'm gonna stop. That's how I talk.
So wait, the
question first.
The topic is,
can you shut up?
People are as loyal as their
and
go. Answer that.
No. And
I don't know
my
what that
example.
means.
But in relation
listen,
to what?
It's not even a direct question.
Listen,
it's not even a direct question.
Listen, my.
You can
you
say
just talked about men having babies for 20 minutes, and I can't say this. Talking about you want options. That's too much.
I'm saying make it make sense, bro.
Okay, you just talked about men having babies for 20 minutes.
Okay, what are you? So
my question is because women always like to throw that thing out like, well, you just need to control your dick. Like, y'all like to say that a lot, but I always tell people I feel like people are as loyal as their options, and it's. Can you speak on that a little bit? I guess I particularly don't have a. I don't have particular. Are you knitting, nigga?
She done start knitting during your question, my nigga.
Fuck you.
Bro, if you just ask the goddamn question.
It's not. Listen, can you shut up? I don't particularly have a question.
Shut up, then.
But
why you asking?
But listen, it's more of a statement, and can you kind of elaborate, because you're the sex therapist. You gonna stop fucking knitting while I'm talking, bruh. That shit disrespectful, and that shit gonna be ugly. What is that? A hat?
It don't matter.
She gonna make it whatever fuck she want by the time you finish that question. It's gonna be a damn
see your eyes.
quilt by the time she done.
I'm confused.
My question.
You don't have a question. You just said I don't have a question. I have a statement I want you to respond to.
Can you talk about that? Because people don't like to talk about that disparity between people with options and people don't have options.
Disparity.
What options? Everybody has options.
No, everybody does not have options.
Yes, they do.
No, everybody does not have options.
Who doesn't have options?
So can you walk outside right now and be like, I want to fly to blah, 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 blah.
That has nothing to do with
what do you mean? That's options.
That's not in relation to
come
what
on,
we're
bro.
talking about.
What do you
Give
mean?
me context.
It's the same. Well, it's the same thing. Well, me as like the average dude, you can do it, but it's gonna fuck you up. But you can't just be like, listen, that's what you can't just be like, I'm gonna have a baby by 5, 6, 7 other different girls, because you don't have the financial stability to take care of all those kids.
And you're saying men can't do that?
No, the average dude, it's not smart for you to, because you don't have the means.
But they do it.
But you have the option.
It is stupid. Them niggas be broke.
So what's the question?
My question.
Or it's more like,
it's a statement. I'm just saying, why do people never talk about, like, you can't compare, like, and you see it all the time. You see men that have more means, like they're more likely to cheat or have kids by multiple women or stuff like that, because they have the means. They can take care of those kids and those women. Now you see men that turn around.
That's why you mentioned celebrities.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned celebrities. I'm just saying nobody talks about it. It's a difference. Like, if I'm a multimillionaire, I have more options than the average person. You guys can agree on that, correct?
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. Just because you didn't get it,
you're more loyal.
Nigga.
Okay, you're as loyal as your options. So you're saying that people with more options, they aren't obligated to be as loyal.
Yeah, you can do what the fuck you want to do.
You can do what they want to do.
Yes.
Okay. Which is why Future has 10 baby mamas.
Hey, he is.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay. I mean,
can we just say okay?
Okay.
All right. That's a response.
Nobody likes to talk about that.
But I don't think it's more so. I think that people like to not hold people accountable because they have the means. Like, somebody needs to be holding Future accountable.
Why?
Because that's irresponsible.
Why is it irresponsible?
Because as we've heard also from a lot of Future's baby mamas.
And Future's a bad example because he's a raggedy daddy. What about somebody who's like...
They're still speaking to the average.
I guess. Okay.
Right.
He's not the average nigga.
What good daddy gonna have 10 baby mamas?
But you said celebrities, and he has the means to have multiple children. So he fits the category.
But he's a raggedy baby daddy.
Well,
can we have somebody who takes...
Do you want me to another category?
Do you want me to answer the question?
Yeah.
There was no question.
You picked you picked the worst example, but
you
okay,
didn't
go.
Give me one.
Okay, let's say
don't ask him a question.
Let's say
we're gonna do it again.
What's his name?
I got a statement.
Can you shut up? You're not talking.
Bro,
about
I got a statement,
show.
bro.
No, just
go
stop.
ahead then.
Thank you.
Ba7ic.
Another example is the I can't think of his first name, but his last name is Cromartie. He's a football player. He's got 10 kids. He's got a reality show. He's got 10 kids with his wife. I think you've seen his, and they like all together. But he has that option because he has the financial means. He can have as many kids.
Now, are we talking about baby daddies, or are we talking about people with? Because you said you are as loyal as your options. So are we talking about baby daddies, or are we talking about people who are in stable relationships?
He doesn't fit into your statement.
Yeah, Future fits into your statement.
That guy doesn't. He's not exercising his options.
But like I said, Future is such a horrible.
No, but you're talking about
okay, let's say Dwight Howard, because I haven't really heard anything about him being a bad dad, but I know he's got multiple baby mamas. Let's say somebody like Dwight Howard who's got money And let's use him because we all know Future is kind of shitty. So I don't want to use him because y'all bash that nigga all today. But y'all will still holler at him if y'all see him walking through Linux. But okay, you won't. But most of the women on that are listening would. Let's not act like he's got 10 baby mamas. Girls is fucking him.
Nothing against y'all.
I'm just saying he's got 10 baby mamas. He's got 10 baby mamas. Somebody fucking him. And Chris Brown had a baby by a stripper. But whatever. But
Karuchi?
No, that's not his baby mama. He got a stripper baby mama.
That's not his baby mama? Wow.
What? Anyways.
I thought that was his baby mama. I don't pay attention.
Got a really loud shout out.
I don't pay attention to celebrities.
But no, so can we use somebody like Dwight, who you don't know much about, but he does have, I think he's got like 5 or 6 baby mamas too. Explain someone like him.
Funny video.
Again, accountability.
Well, what is he did what is he did this wrong? He's not married.
I didn't say anything is wrong with that, but that's just being responsible with your sexuality, you know? So it's like they are choosing not to have sex unprotected, and they are choosing to take the risk of having another child. So, but that's the average person with no money. They know that if I have... So I don't think it's like you are as loyal as your options. It's just people do what they want to do irresponsibly. We all know the risk of having sex without condoms or without the proper contraceptions. So I don't think you're as loyal as your options. I think it's just kind of like, I mean, because we all have options. We all have the option to cheat. Like when you go to Quick Trip, you got the option to cheat.
They could be out there.
Like,
but do you not think it means differently if like,
I mean,
if you work if you work in a regular, if you work in a
looking boo.
Listen, if you work in a regular 9, if you're working a regular 9 to 5 and you're like, bruh, you know, I need this job, like I can't afford another kid. You can't tell me that person who is a multimillionaire, they don't have the same options. You don't have the same options as a millionaire. You don't.
But they have options.
You do not have the same options.
Not the same ones, but they have options.
It's about loyalty.
You don't have the. It's not gonna affect me as much if I have a kid outside of my relationship. If I have the means,
right?
Whether or not if someone who doesn't. So you don't have the same options,
right? But you still have options.
Yeah, but they're mediocre.
Okay, mediocre.
Everybody has options.
They mediocre, probably.
Well,
right?
Quality of you're as loyal as your quality of options.
No, I'm saying
most of the time, if you're broke or you're living check to check, you don't have many options.
But you have.
You gotta
options.
eat those oodles and noodles you got in the fucking kitchen, or you ain't nothing.
But what does that have to do with the? I'm trying to catch the loyalty.
If there is none,
the loyalty, the emphasis on the loyalty piece with the options, with the having.
You know,
my thing is, and I guess I don't know, maybe y'all don't know the difference between someone who's wealthy and someone who's not. But someone who's wealthy does not have the same options as someone who's not. You may have options. You may be able to choose from oodles and noodles to bologna, but it's a difference.
A wealthy person can choose between oodles and noodles because they have.
But I'm talking about somebody. Right? No.
And a broke person can choose chicken or this or this, and they still eat oodles and noodles. You still have options. It's just on whatever level you own.
But it's different types of options.
It don't matter to them. That's their options. What are you talking about?
Like I said, my statement was you're as loyal all your options. Since y'all want to get more in tune, the quality of your options. But y'all not gonna sit up here and tell me that a regular dude like Future is not going through the same drama from having 10 baby mamas than Jerome on the west side.
That.
Yes, y'all are. Y'all saying they both. Y'all saying
that when Sierra and Future
you think
go back at it often.
He don't give a fuck about that shit and
but
shit.
That's still drama.
It's
still drama.
But it's not the same.
Bro, it ain't the same, bro.
Like it's not. It's two different things. He doesn't care. It's not affecting him. It's not affecting. His 10 kids are not affecting him the way they are.
So what you saying
dude.
about that though?
I'm just saying.
What about it?
The reason why I said it is because people are as loyal as they are. Future has a lot of options. He can go out. So
what does it mean for the other person?
What do you mean?
You saying you making a comparison between Future, who has a lot of money,
and
another person. Not. So what does it mean for the other person?
It doesn't. His bad choices. Now, not saying they're good ones. His bad choices don't affect him the way they would a regular person. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, that's why you see a lot of. And the thing is because people are so infatuated with, hip hop has a big influence about how we act.
Okay, we on hip hop now.
I mean, I'm just saying society. Well, I'm just saying just society in general, and society is highly influenced by hip hop. The way people being flashy, buying shit and brands they can't even pronounce.
And talking about cheating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. And you hear in every other song, "I'm gonna fuck your baby mama, your wife, and this and that."
It's a song.
But I'm just saying that it affects society. Would you not agree?
We talking about society now, bruh. Listen, I got a question.
Okay.
I got a question for Mandy. We're gonna switch it around a little bit.
I don't know how mine was so bad, and y'all listen to this nigga, and you didn't. But listen, you didn't
go on for 20 minutes, bro. We let you go for 20.
But listen, you didn't look at Kelvin crazy once, and he was talking about men don't have. You looked at him, you was like, I understand.
Bro,
I didn't look at him crazy.
No, Mandy didn't.
Okay.
But at least I explained it properly.
No, nigga,
and we moved on.
Make no sense.
Ba7ic, I just think your approach was different in conversation.
I'm
It was
just
more
telling you,
of like
people-
statement based, and we were trying to make sense of it.
But people don't like to mention like to be on a bigger scale. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna
more
stop.
money, more problems.
Like,
let him say and stop, because I'm muting his mic after this shit.
People, I'll leave.
No, I think I understand.
Yes,
I don't even want to understand.
No, okay, just say yes or no, and then we'll move on.
Okay.
And
we're gonna fight
you after you
answer. We're gonna fight after the podcast because you knitted while we was talking. And I'm gonna go to sleep while you talking because I can't knit.
So, what I think you're trying to say is that because people with money, right? There are options for, I don't know, people with money, influence, or like upper echelon people, because they have more people flocking to them, maybe, or because they have more means to an end, they may feel that they only have to be loyal to a certain extent. Because they can They don't have to be. Yeah, like, they don't have to be loyal because they can
afford.
They can afford whatever happens. They're gonna be okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean,
all right. You're muted. Next question.
And don't you go.
Next question. All right. So Ba7ic
Thank you, Ba7ic.
You're definitely muted.
If I'm still muted,
So, bro. You had 20 minutes, my nigga, and nobody's good.
It's just time to change questions.
Unmute me, I'm going home.
Okay. Are you done? Are you finished?
New question.
Okay. So
I'm not taking this. I'm not taking this.
It's
shade from somebody with a jean hat on.
Fuck that shit. This shit fly. It's Rugrats hat too. Anyway. So this is the last question tonight.
Snacks and shit.
So
you must be 42. How old are you? Talking about she don't know.
She been doing that the whole time. So you made a statement earlier about.
They got weed in them.
No,
right.
No.
Look,
no, these regular.
The feds are not watching.
No, this Hasbro regular. Is it Hasbro? Haribo.
I have a state job.
I already thought it was Hasbro, like the show.
Isn't that a toy company?
Toys. Damn.
Jelly Bean says something.
I'm tripping. So you made a comment about like the hierarchy of sex in your relationship earlier, and I said I kind of like had a different story, right? Because so back in the day when I was like in the streets, like sex was like at the top, right? And the only way I figured out how to curb sex as being like the main reason I was messing with people was to like figure out that like sex is not like, I changed my mindset when it came to sex, right? I made it go from a physical thing to like an emotional thing, right? So random sex with a stranger wasn't as fulfilling as it was with somebody I had built a relationship with, right? So like this kind of counters what you said earlier, where it's a problem if sex ain't the top of your blah 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 blah, because it was like, okay, now that I feel like sex is an emotional thing, at the top of it, it makes it more difficult. You know what I'm saying? At first it was cool, And this the reason I don't like be doing all that crazy shit with people, because like now
What do you
it's
mean
like
crazy shit.
Well, he
Well,
has
like-
a collection of things he hasn't used.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
yeah, I got the shit though. I'm ready though.
There's a kit for that.
It's yeah.
We should do a speed dating with you, like just you.
Yeah, you know, if we had an opportunity right there to do it.
Yeah,
But we
should
ain't do it.
that.
It would have been that would have been it would have
Yeah.
been plentiful, I think.
Kelvin be bullshitting.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the next speed dating.
It would have been
It
plentiful.
will not be.
It would have been fun. But but the problem that I ran into, like I've been doing this for like 3 years now, that now that my emotions are connected to the sex, if like say for instance like we're in an argument or something like that, I don't want to have sex now because now my emotions are connected to the sex.
Right.
And now I'm like, man, I don't want to be connected to you like that. You got them tripping on some bullshit. Fuck that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a problem, I think, like, and I call myself a modern guy or whatever. Like I think that men will start moving towards this and like remove themselves from just like, oh, she fine, I'm trying to fuck,
The physical.
to like, okay, like, oh, I love her. I
she
want to be
makes me
connected
feel,
with
yeah.
her.
Yeah.
Right.
Were you
So-
finished? I'm sorry.
No, that's it. But I was just wanted to kind of
you think that's a
counter.
problem?
I
I
don't
kind of
think-
wanted to counter. I'm saying that's a problem that comes with
Okay.
you transitioning from, okay, sex is the top of the list,
Because of the physical nature.
right, to sex is now an emotional thing and not just a physical
But
thing.
I think that is a smart way to think about it too, especially when in a relationship, because a lot of people use sex to make up, right?
Okay.
So it's kind of like, I'm upset with you. I don't want to be physical with you right now. So before I can become physical with you, I need to talk this out with you again. So we're not just having sex to kind of push
Distract.
everything under the rug. Also, I also have an episode about
Bruh,
this.
of course she does.
Check out the Prude Got
Look,
Intimacy.
man, watch
In
every
my head, it's
y'all.
rolling in my head. I'm like, we talked about this.
watch every fucking video she has.
This
It's
my-
good stuff.
Yeah.
So
So
quick little snippet, look quick.
yeah. So
Watch you take your time while you take a poop.
I mean,
Straight up,
they're
wherever
quick-
you at.
It's
Straight
quick
up,
videos.
wherever you at, really quick.
So,
Really quick tip.
yeah, really quick tips and things. But yeah, a lot of the times we use sex to mask bigger problems.
These niggas is hold on.
They been on this shit,
Hold
bro.
on, bruh. That's why. Listen.
Oh, where the fuck you get Skittles from, bro?
You didn't see me give them
No, I ain't see the Skittles. I saw the damn Haribo shit.
Big girl fall is
Bruh, I'm
coming.
telling you. Fat girl fall, hey.
That's fine. I like
Berry
snacks.
flavor is a great.
Nah, Skittles is high quality.
Yeah.
They didn't have Airheads, so
Yeah.
She was like,
No,
but the
don't do
funny
Airheads.
She was
I like
trying to
You better
sneak
than
them for a
Airheads.
minute, and then
Okay.
she was like, "Fuck that
I
shit, y'all
love
finna
Skittles
see
now.
it."
But
better.
yeah, a lot of times we use sex to cover things up. And I think it's smart when we take sex beyond the physical and into the emotional, because great sex is the reason why a lot of people stay in unhappy situations.
That's
Right?
a word right
So
there.
it's just kind of like, oh my God, the sex is good. So I feel like this is great just because the sex is good.
It's
But
a false sense of security right there.
but it's like y'all only connecting on that physical level.
Right.
But if you're connected on the emotional level as well as the physical level, whenever they try to use sex to make up with you, to connect with you in that way, to make up with you, instead of talking to you and communicating with you, using reflective listening skills
Right.
and having a genuine conversation about whatever the problem is, that is where the problem is. Not when it's like, I'm so emotionally connected with you, I can't have sex with you right now until we talk about this problem.
Right.
That's a good thing
Right.
because
That's
of
awareness.
how we use sex. Because we are so not in tuned into our emotions that we use sex to express everything instead of actually having conversations.
The
Yeah.
big misstep.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
it also connects with the intimacy before the sex too, because
Right.
what I see in clients is that one or the other just wants to jump on in because you're only thinking about the physical part of it versus stimulating emotionally and mentally. So then now when we do have sex, here we go.
Yeah.
Right.
Where we,
You know.
we both reach our top, and
I got you.
Yeah, we
Enough
have
of
a
the
10 ways to build intimacy video as well.
Come on.
Shout out to the Prudes too.
We're going to have 10 videos in the show notes. There it is.
Click them all.
Maybe 3.
And we got some especially for you.
We need some, man.
Gummy bears.
Something about communicating. You know,
We actually do have gummy bears.
stop using 80 words when you can use 3. That's I'm gonna send you that video. That's I'm gonna send you that.
Yeah, but yeah, we eat gummy bears on our set when we film.
That's our set.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Y'all need a gummy. Y'all need a sponsor. Come on now. Y'all need a sponsor.
Yeah,
But and I want to do an episode on like how I transition from like using women as objects to like an emotional thing. I think it'd be
Please
important for a
invite
lot of
me.
people.
Yeah,
awesome,
please.
yeah.
Please invite them.
I don't
It
have
takes
to be
a
on the
shift.
show, but I want to be here
Yeah.
for the conversation.
Because that's what I used to think. I used to like, okay, women are objects to get to a goal, which uses like an orgasm or something.
and we
And
talked about that.
Yeah.
Pleasure versus goal-oriented sex.
come on now, base, you good? You still salty about getting muted, bro?
It's okay.
You want to talk about it?
We'd love to hear from
You
you.
want a hug, man? I still love you, dog.
No,
I love you,
Tracy,
dog.
don't hug.
You see how you feel?
I
You
think
okay?
it's an interesting journey both ways, both female and male, to transition that, because I don't think that it's exclusive to the male counterpart.
And I love to hear the like female counterpart on that because I feel like they're always more in tune with their emotions because they're allowed to express those more, so that muscle is stronger
Yeah.
than men. So I definitely want a woman counterpart on that episode to talk about
But
that.
there are a lot of women who aren't that in tuned into their
Emotional.
emotions.
Yeah.
Like
So
It's
it
still a
is
physical thing with them.
yes, so it's a physical thing. So there's a lot there are a lot of women who can have sex sans emotion.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't believe that, but like I like to say, there are women out there who are, you know, bigger savages than men.
I hear
They're
that.
mostly prostitutes.
No, they aren't.
Sex work is the oldest profession in the world.
Yeah, hype it up. So is pimping.
Did you know that stripping originated with ballet?
Okay.
He
I'm
didn't
just
know.
telling you.
He didn't know. He now knows.
There was probably a man that was over that ballet theater.
Sex is the oldest thing in the book.
I just told you so is pimping. Pimping has been pimping.
All
Has
right.
been pimping.
Yeah, prostitution is the oldest profession in the world and one of the most lucrative.
Who was getting there? Why are you not mentioning the person that was over them?
Prostitution. People worked at brothels. Brothels
Why
were
are you not
owned by
mentioning the
people.
brothel
He
owner?
wants to hear that it was a man over the brothel.
Not all the time.
Yeah, I don't think
It was
that's
a woman
like,
over the brothel.
There are women who, yeah, there are women who own escort services.
Absolutely.
All right, bro. Let's wrap up, bro. Hit us with the wrap up,
Sleepy.
dog. Right.
We need to get you a women's studies book.
I don't want.
You're not gonna read first of all.
Fuck.
Yeah, he
Why?
barely. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm good. Love. Enjoy.
All right, let's move on.
All right.
Amie, what's good? The in-house therapist, what's good?
That was great. I like talking about sex, so I think it's a great topic. I think to plug a Prude's Crew topic in again, but we're going to talk about that piece of confidence in sex and communicating and talking and conversation and understanding and doing it and doing things that are not traditional. I like all the aspects of this conversation because it's important. I think oftentimes on this show we talk about the traditional way of doing things, but then also on the other hand, it's like, but there are other options that we can take that we just don't talk about or they are just not as appealing. So I just think that it's most taboo to talk about the options that come along with sex.
Yeah.
So hopefully that kind of hit home or was like something to make someone else comfortable about what it is that they want or want to try to do. Because it's important to be sexually liberated. It's the best thing in the world.
Boom.
Oh.
Shout out to Amanda.
Boom. Okay, come on, man. What's up with your wrap up?
You know, I think everybody should always have a good snack with them,
I'm telling you.
whether it's an actual snack or your boo.
The snack guy.
Right? I would have a good snack. All right. But I think it's very important to have these conversations amongst friends with your partner, because the more we talk about sex, the less taboo it is, or just even our 20-minute conversation about men wanting to have babies on their own. Like,
Damn, that's what happened?
That's
No.
what it was.
No, now that I'm thinking about it, that's what happened.
yeah,
That's
but
what I wanted to express.
yeah, but the thing is, like, people don't think that's a sexuality topic. But in reality, our sexuality encompasses our gender roles and expression and different things like that. Or even another 20-minute conversation about loyalty,
having
quality
options
loyalty,
still don't know.
loyalty and quality options, because all of those things,
with wealth as a factor.
yeah, but all of those things come back to.
My shit was weird, but
Oh, now he knows.
But all of our, but all of these conversations
Now that we're back on the same page.
started on the premise of, you know, people's sexuality and what they want to do with their sexuality, you know? So I think it's important to have these conversations, no matter how weird
Or awkward it is.
or awkward it is, or confusing, until we can ourselves seek and find some understanding.
Man,
I would throw in that, and although we were laughing and playing with Ba7ic, but in these conversations, it is important to be respectful of someone's ideas when it comes to sex, because it is difficult to talk about. And sometimes we yuck someone's yum, or we don't realize there's different strokes for different folks. So the reason why we tend to not talk about things is because of judgment. I'm not going to talk to you about something new that I want to try because I've heard you in prior conversation yuck something from someone else. So be a person that's not going to shut down the possibility for a conversation that's just open. It doesn't mean you have to agree. Just more about understanding.
Right. And if you can have sex with somebody, you can talk to them about sex. Like, if that's going to be, but it's like there are so many other big conversations and difficult conversations that you're going to have down the road, but you need to be with somebody that you can talk to them about your sex life. Like, if they do something crazy while y'all having sex, y'all both need to be able to laugh and keep it moving.
like
so
Prude?
It's just
I
like,
said put in my head too.
I mean, like,
We're gonna talk
Prude,
about that.
Like, Prude, I'd be like, damn, I just caught a cramp.
Yeah,
right? You know, you need to be able to
Cramp's
giggle
cool.
and be like, all right,
let's
what we
go.
doing? Are we
Poop's
finished?
not cool, bro.
Not poop.
that cramp, you
Nah,
just gotta
I'm
fuck
talking
through
about
that
a
cramp.
poop.
I didn't say.
You could pause on the cramp.
Nah, you gotta fuck through that cramp. You can't. You think you ever getting with her
Well,
again?
I
if
didn't
you
mean
catch
to
a
start
cramp?
a new
I'm pausing.
discussion,
I'm sorry.
but what I'm just
pausing on
saying
the
is,
cramp.
like, you know, sex should be a fun, enjoyable thing. So you should be able to talk about that. If you can't talk about being on somebody or in somebody's body, imagine how hard the conversation is going to be about finances and religion
Your
and all those
mama, your
different things.
mother-in-law.
Yeah, your mama coming over unannounced. Woo.
Right.
Yeah.
So many questions. You know, and to me, it just make everything so complicated. That's why I want to be a single father. Ain't
I
gonna
think
worry
you
about
can
that
do
shit.
it. If that's what you want to do, I say go for it.
I need to find. Look, if you want to be a donor, comment below.
Why can't I mute his shit?
You
'Cause
could if you know the button,
I
but
don't
know.
I don't
Yeah.
think you know.
He don't know the button.
Yeah.
He don't know the button. Don't be pressing. Okay. He just did a clapping.
Like a little child.
It's clapping.
Oh.
Okay.
I appreciate
All
that.
right. Good job.
But yeah, so yeah, man. I think I just want to. I think I want to practice. I want to practice doing less yuck and more yum
Oh.
in my
like
life.
that.
I like that.
You know what I'm saying? So I just want to practice celebrating people more for what they love, and you know, not so much looking at the negatives that whatever's happening in their life. Yeah, man, sex it's a complex subject. You know, it's body and emotions. Like, it's some people look at it as the closest you can be with another person. You know what I'm saying? Some people do. So it's a complex situation to talk about, and especially if you struggle with talking about regular shit.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, sex is just another layer on top of that. So, but it's definitely an interesting conversation. Like you said, we shouldn't shun people away from that conversation. We shouldn't shun people, basic from asking his 20-minute question. It's just
that was important.
Yeah, that was important to him. So we should value it for what it was.
What about yours?
Mine wasn't 20 minutes.
Well, both of y'all took 20 minutes.
You did.
Mine was more direct. It was a conversation at least. His was
a
just
different
You
approach.
kept saying the same thing that we were saying and not acknowledging that we had solutions for you and you didn't want to hear the solution.
Are you gonna listen to this?
That is
I'm
true.
just saying.
You should.
When you look back at the recording, I didn't state a question,
listen.
but she gave you solutions and you were like, that's not going to work for me.
All I'm saying is you should listen to this episode.
I will. You listen too.
I want you to listen to this episode.
I know what I'm doing when I'm doing.
No, you don't.
I just told you.
You didn't know.
I gave
You
multiple.
going again. You just gave up your wrap up. Now you going.
All right, bro.
Wrap
Basically,
it
what you
up.
think?
No. We're not going back
Are
to
you
basics.
done?
We started here. We back at the end right now.
No, I'm going to get a wrap up, nigga.
No, you
I'll
just gave it up. I
No.
will mute again.
No.
You already ready to go.
I'm not I got to get a wrap
I'm
up.
glad you're at least up because you just.
Howling.
just
Oh, no, this how I go all the time.
Oh.
Yeah, the party. I mean, we got a little police activity, but it wasn't that much.
Hey, this ain't the 60s. We could talk loud in our houses. Shh.
I mean, I would have been that came down here. Excuse me, I'm trying to go to bed.
I only got like 18 more days, so
I
I don't give a fuck.
Make sure
We doing the
don't stay
deposit
near you.
party if y'all want to come through. Shit, so it's whatever. Yeah, man. Appreciate y'all coming through, man. Appreciate Amanda, Amie, in-house therapist, the Prude's Guide, almost everywhere. What's the Facebook again?
The Prude's Guide to Intimacy.
The Prude's Guide to Intimacy, and that's the YouTube.
And that's the YouTube.
Right.
Where you can find all those videos I mentioned.
Right. Amie Refined Vision _ Don't forget that underscore.
Don't forget.
Check that out, man. Check out Ba7ic Logic, man, on Instagram. That's right. With the 7 as the S.
Yep.
Make sure you follow the podcast, Words with KB Podcast, Words with KB Pod on Twitter, and Words with KB Podcast on Facebook. If you listen to this now, you are in the next season. Maybe it's the second season. I don't know what we're calling it yet.
Okay.
But
maybe like that.
That bitch done launched if you listening. So,
yeah.
and it's lit. We back with Amie, Mandy. They got shoulder movement.
We back.
They all beat, but it ain't no music, so.
We are the rhythm.
Well, what does that say about us? We got no
Yuck and Young.
I know what that about you.
The snack team. The snack team in here. We used to have twerk team. Now we got snack team.
I always got a snack in the back.
Okay.
Hey man, y'all take it easy, man. Peace.
Bye. Holla.